Welcome to Windsor Park in Launceston. It's one of the most eagerly anticipated matches of the year in the TSL. It's second versus third. It's the home team, the Launceston Blues, up against the Clarence Kangaroos. It's a cliche, but it really is absolutely beautiful conditions for football here this afternoon. There's not a breath of wind, about 15 degrees. The sun is shining, very few clouds, so no excuses today for both teams. It's going to be a great game of footy. With me in commentary this afternoon from AFL Tasmania, welcome Anthony Osborn. G'day, mate.
Fantastic to be here, Dave. Thank you. And yeah, as you said, perfect day for football. Couldn't imagine much better, to be honest. And yeah, as you just painted there, it's a really intriguing game. Second spot on the line between these two sides, and I really think it's a bit of a flip of the coin.
Absolutely, and it's a great pleasure having commentary for the first time this year. This is assistant coach with the Tassie Mariners, former Glenorchy and South Launceston Premiership player, Mitch. G'day, Hillsy.
Yeah, Dave. G'day, Anthony. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back. Obviously, been away for most of the year. It's good to get to a beautiful day here at Windsor Park, and it should be a really good contest. So I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to the call.
Dave Gruber on stats today, and also Adam Child on the boundary make up our team. And we just had the toss there, Chris.
At this point, just looking at how both teams are situated at the moment, second and third on the ladder, Launceston seem to have had a bit of a stop-start season, really. We probably hoped that they would maybe have developed a little bit further to this point, or maybe close the gap on North Launceston, but they do have a lot of talent in their side, and it'd be good to go up against Clarence, who look like a really solid side. Who, you know, it's going to be a good contest today. I think both teams are well coached, and some of the key players, obviously Thorpe, Harper, Riley, my ex-South Launceston teammates, are in good form, kicking goals, getting in the best players weekly. So I'm looking forward to seeing those guys play. But some of the younger likes of Jamison House and Jake Hines of the Mariners last year, I'd like to see those boys really play a good game today.
And of course, Brady Jones is a big back in for the Clarence team, the captain, and he'll give them a bit more grunt around the midfield.
Yeah, he does. He's terrific around the stoppages. He's a really good leader. He certainly leads by action, and I reckon that the boys around him really lift when he's playing. But I believe he may be a little bit underdone. I did see him a few weeks back, and he looked a fair way off, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Important milestone today, boys. It's Sonny Whiting, his 150th game for Launceston. He's been around for a long time at the Blues, and also he's played in premierships. And he stayed the course. He's 31 years of age, and a lot of his contemporaries have probably moved on now to other leagues, etc. But he stayed the course with the TSL.
Yeah, absolutely, and full credit to him. This milestone coming a fortnight after kicking his 400th goal as well, I believe, for Launceston. So yeah, huge achievement for a really important player to this club, and I'd certainly be a nervous Clarence defender if I was handed the task of manning Sonny Whiting today.
And Hillsy, looking at the ruck contest today, it's pretty fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Bailey's really a real standout this year for Clarence. So, and I think he kicked a few goals last week as well. So, Hamish Leedham, maybe not in the form he was in last year, but he's had some injuries, so on and off start to the season. So, he was in the best players last week. So, I'm interested to see that battle and how it pans out. I think that'll give the midfield ascendancy who he can give first use.
It's time to welcome our boundary rider today, Adam Child, to the broadcast. G'day, Warnie.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Down here on the boundary, it is, as you've been saying, perfect conditions, about 15 degrees, not a breath of wind at all. Launceston won the toss, and they're kicking towards the city end of the ground. We've just seen, just talked to the guys here with Clarence, and there's a couple of changes there. Harry Richmond and Jackson O'Brien are out from the selected side, and Thomas Birchall and Jordan Young are into the side. And for you guys, we've got the numbers right on our stats sheet, so you'll be able to find that as we go through. But yeah, perfect conditions here, and really looking forward to this contest because it really is the match of the round.
Cheers, Warnie. We'll hear from you during the day and in the coach's room after the game. That's Adam Child there on the boundary for City Park Radio. Always in readiness, umpire Nick Butler has the Sharon in hand. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5. Thanks to our sponsors, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. Also watching the TSL live stream via YouTube or the TSL Facebook site. Half-time today, quarter-time, three-quarter-time, we'll have reports from UTAS Stadium. Also have a report on the Allies game. But now, here's Anthony Osborn for AFL Tasmania. It's the first bounce here at Windsor Park.
It's Ryan Bailey and Hamish Leedham to compete. Ball goes up, Leedham wins that one down. A few bodies there around and potentially a high call there. The umpire says high, Clarence play on. Driving ball inside 50, Aganis one out. Ball does go to ground. Dylan Riley funnels that one out to Hines. Really scrappy kick. Jimmy Aganis just able to pick that ball up. Goes out to the outer side. A couple of scrappy kicks getting out of defence for the Blues. And that one is going to roll over the boundary line and we'll have a throw in, half forward flank for Clarence. Bit of a scrappy start, but yeah, underway here at Windsor Park.
And the match up on Thorpe there, Hillsy. It's an interesting one. Is that Timmy Castle back in the side today?
Yeah, Tim Castle, obviously, if the Lonnie midfield can get on top, that's going to be a big win for Launceston with Thorpe in form at the moment on the smaller defender.
Lead him down to Rundle. Hands off, backwards towards Shepherd. Short kick up the wing. Marked there by Jamison House. Tassie Mariner. Ex-Bernie Docker. Sums up his options. He's in pretty good form. Goes short. Has to be pinpoint, and it is. Marked by Jake Smith. He's looking sideways. He goes the switch now. Over here looking for Riley, who's made a niche there at half-back for the Blues. Further now towards Aganis, left half-back. He takes the mark. Aganis goes short. Poor kick. Oh, mark dropped there by the Clarence player there in Taylor Williamson. In fact, sorry, it was Ashton Dickinson dropping the mark there. It's now a contest inside the centre square. And umpire Butler will come and ball it up.
I'll tell you what, those load outs of Jackson O'Brien and Harry Richmond shouldn't be understated. Harry Richmond's provided a lot of excitement inside forward 50 for the Roos, and we all know how good Jackson O'Brien is. That ball's gone up. Jeremy Weberley at the bottom of the pack. Feeds that one out. Rushton getting a hand to it. Gabby Chambers gets the ball out to Ryan Bailey. Looking for Jez Weberley, but intercepted by Smith. Ball just bumbling around on the wing here. Broadcast side. Jake Hines able to clear the ball. He finds it out to Jake Smith again. Getting around, touching the ball a few times early on. Jack Rushton moving the ball towards the half-forward flank. He's tackled by James Holmes and will have a free kick going the way of Jack Rushton. That might have been out of bounds. Rushton quick to play on, looking inboard, but only finds Ryan Bailey at half-back for the Roos.
Bailey relieve the pressure. He's going to switch to the far side. It's binoculars time as he goes right out there, and a nice pass is marked there by Cowie. He plays on up the wing. Contest here with Williamson. Up against House. Williams is tackled, releases the ball. Chambers is there. Umpire says throw it in. No scores yet. And Anthony, I forgot to start the time clock. I knew I would. But what you see on the screen, you can probably add 90 seconds to it.
Just approaching a minute on our scoreboard. You did tell me to remind you as well, Dave.
I forgot.
I'll take the blame for that one. That's all right.
Boundary throw in. Leaderman and Bailey clears both of them. Falls to Rundle, bit of it early. Handball semi-smothered towards Tommy Shepherd. He's tackled to the ground, no free kick. Webley in there. He's tackled to the ground, and it'll be a ball up on defensive 50. In fact, there's a free kick being picked out. It's going Launceston's way. And player in the back, I think it's Jeremy Webley. Is it, I think, Hilsey? It is.
Yep.
And the free kick going to Joey Boyce. Prior opportunity, says the umpire. Joey Boyce signals he might go long here. He gets a lead from Thorpe. I don't know what he was doing there, Mitch Thorpe, but anyway, Joey Boyce kicks in towards goal. It's a big pack there off hands, and Mitchell's, what was Mitch Thorpe doing there?
That was an old school Thorpe trick. Get around the back for a cheapy handball goal. That's that one.
I thought he was going to run off the ground. Boundary throw in right next to the behind post. No scorers yet. Beautiful conditions and healthy crowd here. It's on the weekend. Thorpe wrestles out away from the contest. Player tackle to ground there. So the number 26, Clarence and Alex Gore. And be another ball up. Crowded forward 50 for Launceston. They're kicking to the city end in this first quarter. Chance for Paul Freeman, can't pick it up. Clarence defence working out now through Jake Cox. Still in dispute. Jack Rushton's in there. Back to Cox. He's tackled. He's Cox holding the ball. Does it play on? And that's holding the ball, is it?
Yep, holding the ball.
On the ball, yep. It's coming back. So I'm just going to see the player's going to take the free kick. I think it's Joby Harper who laid that tackle on Jake Cox. Two of the best players in the competition. And it'll be a conversion from goal here. Only about 8-10 metres out. Slight angle. Joby Harper for the first for the Blues. Oh, he's hit the post from 10 metres out. Joby Harper. Mitchell Hills, he won't be happy with that one.
He's not renowned for his kicking or his goal kicking, but that one was a gimme, so he'll be ruining that opportunity.
Almost ticked that one in as a goal there. Nice kick out there from Jake Cox. Finds Fletcher Seymour, a player who's really stepped up for the Roos this season. Former Australian under-19 cricket representative. He goes to the outer side, half-back flank for the Roos. Plenty of bodies starting to drift across to the far side of the ground. And that's out of bounds on the full. Quick gather there by Chris Savage, I believe. Ball goes straight up and over. So Clarence with a free kick. Out of bounds on the full, just in front of the interchange gates on the outer side. No one inside forward 50 for the Roos at the moment. Nagging ball down the line. Fletcher Seymour does well. Takes a mark. Just assessing his options here. Still no one inside forward 50. Down the line towards half forward. Chris Neald's out the back. Dickinson's in there as well. Brady Jones feeds the handball out. Potentially back there from the tackler, but we will have a ball up right on the forward 50 here. With a little bit of niggle between the two sides as well. Umpire quick to get the ball moving. Ball goes straight up. Jordan Young's in there on debut for the Roos. It's just an absolute scramble at half forward here for Clarence. Neald looks to emerge. Cries of ball from the Launceston faithful, and that is what they get. Free kick at half back. Fantastic tackle laid there by Miller Hodge.
Miller Hodge from half back, and I think that's Webley with the jumper off. Goes short, finds Harper. Joby Harper in front of the Blues faithful over there on the far side. Back towards Chris Savage, having a great season, the skipper. Closer now to the commentary position here is Vanderveld. Short to Riley at half back. He takes the mark, so they're chipping it around. Riley now looks like he might go long down the line, or yes he does. Now he goes short down the line and finds Jake Smith. Smith thinks about the handball back to Riley. He looks ahead. Short pass is marked here by Hines. Hines inside the centre square to Joby Harper. Possession footy here from the Blues. Ryan Tyrrell's on the wing, receives from Harper by foot. So they've worked it out well here, the Blues. They're on the wing. Nice kick from Tyrrell towards half forward, looking for Whiting. In fact, it was Killerley. Falls to Rushton, who's tackled. Caught in a strong tackle is Killerley. Now it's the Clarence Kangaroos out of half back. Up here towards Jake Cox up against Hines. Hines tries to take the mark. He takes the spillage. Goes short and finds Jake Smith.
Really well done there by Jake Hines. Held his ground. Smith goes inboard. Just over the top of his teammate there. Looks like Cowie for Clarence. He looks over the top and finds his teammate in Alex Gall. He goes across. LaRue's just looking to go down the line. Dylan Riley, touch clumsy there, trying to get over the top and take a mark. Will be a free kick going Clarence's way. Umpire says no to the advantage. Everyone just starting to flood back now.
That's Jordan Young, the debutant there.
He's been listed in as emergency for most of the season, Jordan Young, so good to see him get his chance in the senior side. That ball rolls out of bounds at half forward for Clarence. About 7 minutes gone in this one.
Nothing to write home about so far, Hilsey, as far as
no, it's interesting to see the style of play of both teams. Clarence looking to move the ball pretty quickly forward, whereas Launceston looking to hold possession and chip the ball around and move the ball from side to side a little bit more. So we'll see how that plays out.
Brady Jones feeds that ball out, but it's all Launceston here at the moment. Hodge goes over the top. He finds his teammate there. Joby Harper. He goes to half forward for Launceston. One-on-one contest. Jamison House, I think it is. He goes on the left foot towards half forward. Very clumsy stuff early here at Windsor Park, but the Roos do this well. Williamson straight through the middle of the ground looking for Jordan Young. That ball's intercepted there by the Blues as they go out wide to Jake Hines.
Hines takes a mark, gets the foot pass from Brown. He's lost a bit of weight, Jake Hines, as he hit the half forward. Hilty's nodding there. Comes here towards Whiting in his 150th. Bullet-like pass is a beauty, and the mark's not taken there by Killerley. So hits the deck. No one can pick it up and get a meaningful possession there. And Ben Killerley, Hilsey, outstanding junior, a lot of injury problems back in the senior side today.
Yeah, he's a real hard worker. He's been doing strength and conditioning through the Mariners program, so a bit stop-start, but he looks like he's finding good spots and getting his hands on the footy.
As House gets the tap out towards Miller Hodge, who's on the ground. Alex Gall's on top of him. Not coming out. Another ball up. So one behind 1 point. Launceston. Clarence yet to score. Been remiss of giving the score. There hasn't been much score here so far at Windsor Park. In the first 10 minutes, very tight opening to this contest. Free kick picked out here by the umpire. It's going Launceston's way. Perhaps within scoring distance. And it's Jamison House. Elsie, you've seen a bit of him.
He's a handy pick-up for Launceston, Fozzie. He's, I think he's been in the best in most of the games he's played, and coming back from Mariners where he did a great job as well. I guess the knock on him was that he's probably undraftable with some of his attributes, but he's certainly a try. He gives effort, and at this level he looks to be standing out.
We're about to see what he's like from 50 metres out, 45-degree angle. Strolls on in, Jamison House, close to the man on the mark. Doesn't get the right contact, and it fades to the right. It's one behind. Second score of the day, it's Launceston 2 behinds, 2 points. Clarence yet to score. City Park Radio 96.5, 103.7, and the TSL live stream.
So Jeremy Webley to take the kick out here for the Roos. Very sharp kick there. Finds his teammate. Brady Jones receives the handball and a sloppy pass to his teammate out wide. And we've seen that a little bit early. Some skill errors from both sides. As I mentioned, a perfect day here in Launceston for football. Healthy crowd rolling into Windsor Park as well.
There's no NTFA football today, so a chance for some people to watch TSL that might not normally do so.
Throw in at half forward for Launceston. Umpire's call. It's going to be a free kick going the way of the Roos. Looking to switch now. A few players just lining up. That's a very high ball and a fantastic effort there from Ben Killerlee to get across and intercept. And that is a big win for Launceston and Clarence, looking to try and get out of their back half, but the Blues just doing a good job to pen them in at the moment.
Yeah, interesting, Jared Harper there. It was a very ambitious cross there, Hilsey. Switch.
Yeah, it's probably not looking for a long 50-metre switch on that line of defence, so not ideal.
Boundary throw in. An attack for the Blues. House wins it down in front. Chance for the Roos to take it away. Handball from Brenner to Cox, who drops it. He's tackled there by Tyrrell. Gets it back again to Jake Cox. Playing on ball today. Kicks up the wing with a torpedo. Simon Vandervelt's there. Can't get the handle on it. Weberly. He might get a free kick here, Jeremy Weberly does. Inside 50 so far. Launceston 5-2. Clearance is fairly even. So here's the coach. Ex-Richmond player Jeremy Weberly. Leans back on the kick inside, attacking 50, and that's a nice mark. Taken there by Dickinson. Off to Harper. Harper for the first one for the Roos. He's off to the left. First score for Clarence. We're about 12 minutes in. Clarence 1 behind. Launceston 2 behinds. Anthony Osborn.
Yeah, big loss with Harry Richmond not playing. He does provide a bit of a target up forward for the Roos. They've got quite a mobile forward line at the moment. Likes of Alex Silver, Chris Neild and Ashton Dickinson. It's Launceston drive this ball out of defensive 50. Bailey tries to go over the top, unable to get his hands onto it. Got Jake Smith there for Launceston, but Ryan Bailey able to swoop on the ball. And that one's just out of bounds on the full at half forward for the Roos. So Launceston get this one here at half back. Consider switching here with Casey Brown. Decides to go down the line. James Holmes is there for Clarence. Potentially tunnelled his opponent. Bailey to Weberly. Back to Ryan Bailey. Very mobile for a ruckman. That one there, wasted kick. Going straight to Joby Harper. He goes across to Jimmy Aganis. Under a bit of pressure as the Blues look to escape out of defensive 50.
So it's gathered now here nicely by Joey Boyce. Hands to Hodge. Short foot pass to the advantage of Aganis, although Harper's there. He might have got one high from Aganis. He did. Free kick. Jared Harper, who's been lively early on. Harper goes sideways and finds Williamson. Adjacent to the centre square. Kicks inside 50. Chance here at the back for Brenner. Front position, though, was Brown to Harper, who just brushes off tackles. Gets a quick kick away under pressure. Ricochets from Boyce. Now with Rundle. Handball to Hodge to Smith. Away they go, the Blues. Up to half forward. Thorpe is one out. Front position can't take it. Who's front and square? Clarence are. Ball's taken there. Whiting lays the tackle. Working his way through is Gillow. He kicks ambitiously towards goal. Splays off to the left. Might roll. It'll roll out of bounds. Boundary throw in forward pocket. Gee, Hilsey, Joby Harper looks fit.
He's a beast, mate, isn't he? No, he looks like he's confident in his body at the moment. He's running well and he's getting his hands on the footy, and no one seems to be able to tackle him at all. So it's good to watch.
So throw in at forward pocket here for Launceston. Ball goes up. Ryan Bailey there for Clarence. Just able to get that one down. Jason Bailey, I should say. Plenty of bodies around this ball. Hamish Leadham is there setting up alongside Jake Hines. Launceston take this one back with interest. No real target though, and James Holmes, as he so often does, takes the mark in defensive 50. We saw him really burst onto the scene last year, and he's taken that form into 2018 as the Matthew Richardson medalist. Got a few questions at the moment though. He does well finding Harper at half back for the Roos.
Harper takes the mark. Sums up his options. Left shoulder heavily strapped, goes short. And another player with his shoulder strap, that's Jeremy Weberly. 2 behind Launceston, 1 behind Clarence. In the first quarter of this game is Williamson. That's a beautiful pass there from Weberly. Williamson cruises off half back. Up here towards Castle, he's playing an attack now. Vanderveld takes the ball, looks for handball. Not a great one. Mopping up though there is Jacob Boyd, back in the side today. Harper chasing the ball against Seymour. He lays the attack on Fletcher Seymour, but it's over the boundary line. Boundary throw in. Fletcher Seymour, ex-old Scotch player in the NTFA. And as Anthony said, elite junior cricketer as well. Boundary thrown right in front of us here. And the Windsor Centre here, Function Centre. Bailey and Leadham. Bailey's sort of almost gets underneath Leadham there. Handball from Gillow, finds Tyrrell, inside out, kicked half forward. There's Sonny Whiting, tries to tap the ball to Smith, intercepted by the Clarence player there, who's tackled by Smith. And it'll be a ball up, just the forward side of the centre square. Hilsey, how are you seeing things?
Yeah, look, it's been a bit of a slow start to the game, hasn't it? No side really taking the ascendancy. The guys who are able to kick the footy are really standing out at the moment. Jeremy Webley is a key one, able to set up from half back. So one that's probably missing for Lonnie Powfram at the moment. Hasn't really got his hands on the footy yet, so it'll be interesting to see if he lifts for his side.
So a free kick here for Launceston. Joby Harper pushed in the back, driving the ball inside 50. James Holmes there again. Fantastic mark from the young Clarence star. He's got the ball at half back for the Roos. Certainly a new look Clarence side this season. He switches. Just assessing the options at the moment. Hand into the back pocket. Just does well there to find Matthew Ling. Played his 100th game for the Roos last weekend. That win over the Demons as he drives the ball out of defensive 50. Vandervelde makes the contest for Launceston. A few foot soldiers for both sides here. Launceston able to get the ball out. Hamish Leadham snaps the ball inside 50. Holmes there again for Clarence, and he's knocked that ball out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Good young player, Holmes, Hilsey.
Yeah, he is. He was. I never really saw much of him earlier, but he sort of burst onto the scene last year with a terrific season. So I don't know, one of those players that seems to be in the right spot all the time.
Boundary thrown in the pocket. We'll get some early scores in other games in just a moment. As in comes the boundary throw in. Here's Thorpe. Handballs here towards Smith, who lets fly for goal. Jake Smith, and he's offline. It's 3 behinds now to Launceston. 3 behind, 3 points. Clarence 1 behind, 1 point. Elsewhere, it's North Launceston 14, leading North Hobart 6, and Glenorchy 20. Hilsey leading the Tigers 1. Yes. Be happy with that. As it's marked in the back pocket here. Binoculars time again. Got by Matthew Ling, who kicks up the wing. Rising high is Bailey. Off hands. So kick might have gone out of bounds on the full.
Yes, it has.
It has. Free kick to Simon Vandervelde, who goes short. And it's a nice kick here, and it finds Tom Shepherd. Inside 50 so far. That's Launceston 9, Clarence 5. So they're most of the play. They do lead, but only by a couple of points. Joby Harper's had 1,000,000 possessions this first quarter. He goes nicely up here towards half forward and finds Sam Rundle, the boy from Devonport. Veteran stage now with Launceston. He goes here looking for Thorpe, who rises high. In fact, it was Whiting. Can't take the mark. Clarence defence mop up. Handball into the back pocket. It's kicked out of defence. Looking for Jake Cox. Ricochets now to Brown. Gets around one opponent. Keeps it low inside 50 and finds Jacob Boyd, who leads out and takes the mark. And he'll have a shot for goal. Opportunity for the first one for Launceston.
Yeah, fantastic pass there. An absolute rocket inside 50, and have been some pretty decent passes inside 50 for the Blues, but Clarence's defence holding up quite well early on. Repeat entries, and likes of Jason Bailey and James Holmes have done well so far, but the Blues with a good opportunity here.
Jacob Boyd, for our radio listeners, he's about 40 out, 45-degree angle. Deliberate approach. Back in the side today, Jacob Boyd for the first one for the Blues. Hits the post. Launceston 4 behinds, 4 points. Clarence 1 behind, 1 point. That's a quick kick out, and it's marked by Matthew Ling.
It's Matthew Ling with the ball. Jack Rushton, the man on the mark. Clarence just trying to get the ball out of defensive 50. When they have gone forward, it's been rather unorthodox so far. Jimmy Aganis getting across. Brings the ball to ground. Alex Gould's there for Clarence. Plenty of bodies there, and fantastic work from the Blues to clear that ball. Back inside. Looks like that was Chris Savage. Ball just hacked inside 50 there from Ryan Tyrrell. Bit of a havoc ball. Big collision there from Jason Bailey. The Blues able to get the ball out. They've got it on the paint of 50. Mitch Thorpe, tumbling ball inside the 450 here. Jack Rushton wrapped up by his opponent. Ball spills free. And plenty of men around this contest, and the umpire will ball it up.
Blues look more dangerous, Hilsey, but they're just not converting on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they look like they're threatening to sort of open it up and break it apart. But Clarence is certainly holding their own, and the defensive structures are holding up.
So it's a ball up, about 30 metres out from the Blues' goal. Thorpe gets the knockout. It's kicked quickly out of defence. Chance here as Joey Boyce might have fallen in the back of his opponent there. Play on, says the umpire. As players tackled to a standstill. So it'll be another ball up. A lot of stoppages, clearances at the moment. About 5 to Clarence, 4 to Launceston. So they're running fairly evenly. There hasn't been a lot of meaningful clearances though. As the front position there was Jamison House. Here's a chance now for the Blues through Rundle. He's tackled well. Great tackle, Brady Jones back in the side. He'll win the free kick at half-back. Brady Jones with the headgear. Former wicket keeper for the Tassie Tigers in the Sheffield Shield or Pura Cup victory. The stats, Hillsy, as Jones goes sideways. Jared Harper, who takes the mark at half-back flank. Had a bit of it. There's Jared Harper. Standing the mark is Joby Harper. 2 Harpers there. Short kick back to Brady Jones. So they're setting up well here, Launceston. They're having to chip sideways. He's going to have to go up the line here, I think. He has got a player on here, number 35 in Jordan Young, who's in the side today. Can't take the mark. Knocked away by Killerley out of bounds. Still no goals here at Windsor Park. 4 behind Launceston. Clarence 1 behind 1 point.
Yeah, strong Rookery Cup team Clarence have had over the last couple of years, and Jordan Young has been thereabouts, probably knocking down the door for senior selection for a little while. Good to see him get his opportunity today. Looks to be playing a bit of a half-forward role early on. Polfreeman gets that ball out there. Right on the wing here for Launceston. Troy Cunliffe. Hot in pursuit. Just whacks that ball on the boot, trying to find Jake Cox at half-forward. Maybe interfered with. Doesn't matter though. Chris Neal gets the ball and drives it forward and kicks the opening goal of the day. Clarence get there first through Chris Neal. Able to get the quick release from Jake Cox, and he makes no mistake. Clarence 1-1-7, Launceston 0-4-4, 20 and a bit gone in the opening term.
Disappointing from the Launceston defenders there, able to let the ball get over the back. It's a Cardinals hint from the defender to get the ball over the back to an easy goal, really, open goal face. And they held up. That Launceston had a little bit of a zone, a little bit of a press going on. They're able to slow Clarence up. They'll be really disappointed they let a goal slip there.
An impressive player, Chris Neal. He's come over from the Tigers this year and he converted nicely there.
Yeah, it was. It was a good finish. Certainly, he read the play well, got to a good spot and was able to finish, which is what you like to see.
Okay, we've finally got a goal in this game as we are probably almost at quarter time. Won't be a lot of time on. Not many goals kicked. It's Clarence 7, Launceston 4. They're back in attack here through Ryan Bailey. Chance for the Mercurial Cox, who takes the mark. 2 kicks out from goal at half forward. Casey Brown on the mark. Cox chips it inside 50. It's a 1-on-2 situation. And the one wins with Riley. Should have been paid the mark for mine. Play on now, says the umpire. It'll be a ball up inside attacking 50. And a lot of the crowd over there in front of the bar thought that was a mark, and so did Dave Gruber. He nods his head. Now stats man here. Inside 50's running at 13-7. So Launceston in front in that stat, but not on the scoreboard. Out comes Harper. Funny old kick outside defensive 50. Rushton's there, can't take the mark. It's a contest on the ground. He might have infringed. No, he gets the free kick, does Jack Rushton. The boy from Rocherley and East Coast Swans. He looks sideways. He looks sideways again. But he's going to go down the line. Gets a bit of height on the kick. Chips it up for Hines. Not a great one for him, and knocked away by his fellow blonde bombshell there in Holmes. Out of play. So boundary thrown far side. It's Clarence 7, Launceston 4.
Really impressive start from James Holmes. Looked right up the ground there to intercept that ball. Throw in just in front of the interchange gates. Outer side here at Windsor Park. No real decisive winner in the hit out. Plenty of bodies around the ball. Clarence able to get it clear. You drive the ball forward. Jeremy Webley tries to run off, but will be taken back. Free kick going, will be out of bounds actually. So the throw in again, this time in front of the Launceston interchange bench. Late stages of the opening term here at Windsor Park. Lauderdale 4, Launceston 4, play Clarence 7. The umpire will call that one another stoppage. Outer wing. Jack Cox, the lone man inside 50 for Clarence at the moment. Casey Brown manning him. As the quarter time siren goes here at Windsor Park, a scrappy old start to this one. Just the one goal. Launceston 0-4 behinds. Clarence 1-1-7. Very interesting start to this game.
Better do the goal kickers, Anthony.
Absolutely. It's a tough job for me so far with the goal kickers. Chris Neald with the only goal of the day. A good goal, it must be said, but a few opportunities for Launceston throughout the term, just unable to capitalise.
He's probably not the best quarter I've seen in TSL footy this year, but it's a tight contest, and I'm sure it'll open up as the game goes on.
Yeah, it looks like it's threatening to sort of open up, and you can see some general sort of patterns of play for Launceston. Look like they're trying to use the ball by foot and set things up, switch the ball out of defence and short pass, whereas Clarence are sort of a little bit faster to try and get the ball forward, and that paid off in that quarter. They'd come away pretty happy with the result, being just up at quarter time against a good Launceston side.
That's Mitch Hills for City Park Radio. We thank our sponsors, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. It's time to take a short break. In a moment, we'll have Josh Partridge at UTAS Stadium and also Adam Child on the boundary. But for now, short break from Windsor Park. Clarence 1-1-7, Launceston 4 behind 4 points. Chris Neald, the lone goal scorer there for Clarence. It's time to go to UTAS Stadium now, and we've got for AFL Tasmania and the TSL reporter there is Josh Partridge. G'day and welcome to City Park Radio, Josh.
Oh, mate.
Tell us what the situation there is at UTAS Stadium.
All right. As you can just hear, the siren's just gone. North Launceston, currently lead 4-3-27 to 3 goals straight. Brad Cox-Goodger, Mark Walsh, Dakota Bannister and Casey Curtis have hit the scoreboard for North Lonnie, with Nathan McCulloch, Cooper Leake and Sean Willis the scorers for North Hobart.
Well, North Hobart will be happy with that first quarter, Josh. They're more than competitive, only 9 points of difference.
Yeah, they are. They really tied North Launceston down to begin with, but then North Lonnie hit the scoreboard a bit, but then they tied it back towards the end and came back with a few quick goals, with Sean Willis and assisting another Nathan McCulloch. So they're really keeping them in it at the moment.
No worries. With North Launceston, any late changes to either side for the Bombers or the Demons?
Both McCulloch and Taylor Whitford out, so quite big outs for North Launceston.
Okay, so going without 2 of their big guns there. Josh, just that quarter-time score again?
4-3-27, North Launceston lead, North Hobart 3-0-18.
Thanks, mate. We'll talk to you again at half-time.
Too easy, mate.
That's Josh Partridge there, and nice to have those young reporters. Anthony, I know you have a lot to do with getting the reporters from around the grounds, and it's a great experience for young people to be at a game and have to report like that on radio or via the Facebook side or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I had a bit of experience last year doing it, and yeah, really good fun, and kind of probably gives you greater appreciation for the game. You watch it in a different way, and obviously to see some high-level footy, and if you do get a game like that over at UTAS Stadium where you might have thought that North Launceston would blow it apart early on, and to see North Hobart really being competitive early is really good to see.
Team stats to quarter time, the hit-outs lead them on top there, 11 to 5. 11 Launceston, 5 to Clarence. Clearance is about even, 7 to 6 Clarence's way. Inside 50s, we talked about it in the call, 13 to 7. So Launceston have been dominant there. Marks inside 50, we haven't seen many of those so far, just 2 to Launceston, 1 to Clarence. Shots on goal, 4 to 1. The Blues way, and free kicks 9 to 7 the Blues way. Hillsey, as we said, it's been a bit of a congested first quarter, not a lot of open play, but Clarence have come to play and they've done it well in that first quarter. They've weathered the storm. Yeah,
they did. I think you can see a clear plan for Clarence to slow them up and make sure they go side their opponent and slow the ball movement and try and pressure them to take that inside kick, which is Launceston's game plan. Chip the ball around in defence, try and take the ball through the corridor. Clarence are well coached and well aware of that, and they look like they're sort of tempting into that inside kick, and there's been a few turnovers resulting in a goal there as well. So I don't know. Launceston look like they're threatening to sort of maybe open the game up in the rest of the game, and maybe later in the second half that'll happen. And I guess we hope we do see a little bit free-flowing football later on.
Because that's the thing for Clarence. If Launceston move the ball quickly, they've got the forward power that won out with Thorpe and Whiting, etc. We only saw one fluent passage of play, I think, the whole quarter where Launceston took it almost coast to coast.
Yeah, that's right. They really look to try and take the ball back in the corridor, but they haven't had that overlap run and drive from defence. Because Clarence, in fact, their game plan has worked so far. So you really hope that they can continue to do that from their side, but Launceston will be looking to their good ball users, Jake Hines, etc., to use the ball coming off half-back and get the ball in forward to Thorpe and the likes a little bit quicker.
What do you think of the way Clarence have used Jake Cox? Because we think of him more as a forward, a goal kicker, but he seems to have a role, basically an on-ball role at the moment. Yeah,
he does. He sort of roll. You'll probably see him start on the wing, roll on ball, and then go forward. I think he gets a bit of a license to do what he wants, to be honest. But he's a great user, and he gets it back every single time. So he turns one into two every time, and very damaging by foot. So that's one I have to look out for.
Adam Child down on the boundary line for City Park Radio. G'day, Warnie.
Yeah, g'day guys. We said players all heading out into position now for the second quarter. With the Launceston Jacob Boyd was singled out, sort of saying that he's here and he's ready to go for senior footy. He's showing everyone what he's up to, which is a real positive for the young fella there. And they're really impressed with their contested ball at the moment, and the clearance is definitely in their favour. They just need to monitor those laps that they have. And over Clarence, interesting for the start of their quarter-time huddles, that they all got together and they walked down towards the goal square and then came back. I vaguely remember that from last year. They did that a few times. But, yeah, they're talking about their contested marks. What I got mostly from there is that they need to actually be contesting every part of the game, not just when the ball is loose.
And Warnie, any injury concerns for either team?
No, it's all looking good at the moment. I tell you what, though, Launceston had, I would have loved to have counted the interchanges in that one, because it would have been one of the highest I've seen this season.
Okay, we're back underway. Thanks, Warnie. Back underway in the second quarter here at Windsor Park. And for City Park Radio and the TSL live stream, here is Anthony Osborn as I start the clock.
So the ball immediately down at the bottom of the pack after the ball up to start the term. We'll have another throw up here. Leadham and Bailey to compete. Interesting contest this one today. Bailey's so good around the ground, and we all know what Hamish Leadham is capable of. Jeremy Webberley able to slap that ball down, but Jake Smith with the ball at half back for Launceston, looking to find, and Taylor Williamson just stands his ground on the wing there for Clarence, takes a strong mark as opposed to Jemison House. Just looking at his options here at the moment. A few players moving for him. Little dinky ball to the outer side, finds Ling. He goes over the top to Jeremy Webberley, who just decides to check side that ball inside 50. Didn't want to go on the left boot, so decided to opt for the right. Plenty of players around this ball, and I think the umpire will call a ball up. Right on the paint of 50, half forward for the Roos.
I've neglected to give the D-League score, the Mercury Cup score today. Launceston 19-11-125 defeated Clarence 4-3-27. As we're on the half-forward flank for the Kangaroos. Handball comes out towards Jamison House, towards Palfreyman, who's been quiet. Quarter number one. Yeah, it's Jake Cox gets a quick kick, and it's a good one as it falls in the lap there of Tim Castle at half forward. And that uncustomary role in the forward line, his first game back. So he might be too far out to score, but he's going to give it a shot, I think. He's looking around. Timmy Castle, he's gone right back towards the centre circles, as people watching the stream can probably see. Tim Castle, deliberate approach. He's backing himself. He'll deliver from about 55 out. Vanderveld on the mark. Castle launches. Not a bad attempt. It's off to the right. It's at a mark. It's still in play. It's play on. And what has the umpire said? I think the umpire might have picked out a free kick here. He has. And
James Holmes?
James Holmes, yeah. I had to look twice there.
Not used to seeing him inside forward 50, it must be said.
Might have got one over the shoulder, like he's in a stiff angle here. Goes the banana, does James Holmes. Umpire will retreat back into his position and say that's a goal. That's the second goal for the Kangaroos. Free kick to James Holmes. Fantastic high banana there. And that's a second goal for Clarence. 2-1-13. Launceston, 4 behinds, 4 points. Mitch Hills.
Oh, interesting that Clarence has swung sort of two defenders, or they've either pushed up and got involved in the play and resulted in a goal for Clarence. So throwing things around a little bit and getting results, which is good to see. And Holmes, he's started the game really well, and he's been effective in everything he's done so far.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers with me, but I dare say it's probably his first TSL goal, James Holmes. Fantastic start for the Roos this term. That ball goes up. Palfreyman dispossessed. Clarence work it out to the outer side. Good work there by Chambers. He finds Jeremy Webberley. Handball over the top, finds one of the inclusions today.
Tom Birchall.
In Birchall. He goes deep inside forward 50. Castle's there about. Alex Silver, it actually is for the Roos. Ducks that ball inside. Another shot on goal for Clarence, and they've got 2 in a minute. Clarence are up and about at the moment. Fantastic finish.
Chris Neild.
Chris Neild now has 2 goals for the Roos. And suddenly we couldn't get any goals at all in the opening term. We've got 2 in a minute. Early on.
Sorry, Foz, we hardly saw an effective clearance in the first quarter from either side, and in the start of this quarter we've seen 2 really effective hit-outs to clearance ratio going inside 50 and resulting in 2 goals in a minute to Clarence, so that's where it's been won.
Another great finish from Chris Neild there on the left foot. It's his second today. And it's 3-1-19 Clarence. Launceston 4 behind, 4 points. As the ball goes up in the middle of the ground, taken by Ryan Bailey. His kick smothered by Smith. Fletcher Seymour can't pick it up. Now to Harper. They need something, the Blues, to answer this charge from Clarence. Up to half forward. Ball spills here towards Palfreyman. Good handball to Jamison House. 2 kicks out from goal. Up here looking for Mitch Thorpe. It's a great spoil from behind there by Bailey. Ball on the ground. This time it's Whiting, gets it to Thorpe. Kick to the advantage of Killerley or Miller Hodge. Bouncing to Killerley. He'll turn. He'll snap for goal. Will Killerley if he can get free. He now hands it off. And the shot comes in from Miller Hodge, who gets the goal for Launceston. Great work and persistence in the forward half from the Blues. And eventually it was Miller Hodge who finished. Some good work there from Ben Killerley. First goal from Launceston, 1-4-10. Clarence, 3-1-19. Well, Hilsey, there's some good forward line pressure there. There was a good spoil from Bailey, but after that the Blues did it well.
Yeah, Thorpe wouldn't really be too happy with the delivery coming forward at the moment, but obviously a good goal there resulted from good pressure from the small forward, so it was good.
And Miller Hodge has been in the Mariners?
Yeah, he's had a pretty good year actually. He sort of came on in his 17th year, and this year he's been was really effective with the Mariners. More of an outside type player, but he's laid a couple of big tackles today, which has been good, and definitely a lot of pressure forward there, which resulted in a goal for him. 3
goals in 4 minutes. Here's Anthony Osborn.
Bailey taps that one down, roving his own form. I should say Ryan Bailey. A couple of Baileys and a couple of Harpers out there today. As Clarence work the ball to half forward. Tom Birchall in pursuit, one of the 2 late inclusions today. Harry Richmond and Jackson O'Brien out of the side. He goes inboard as the Roos look to drive it inside 50. Dropped mark by Dylan Riley. About 10 metres out from his defensive goal. He finds Jake Hines, and Launceston trying to get out of trouble. That's a high up and under. And Taylor Williamson, second time this term, really strong mark at half forward for the Roos.
And Williamson has been impressive so far. His kick's not that impressive though, as it's Hines there on the chest at half back. Jake Hines, he goes short and finds Rundle. Got a few possessions in that first quarter. Sammy Rundle, he's going to go sideways to half back and find Jimmy Gillow. He's up the ground, usually closer to goal. Goes short towards Miller Hodge. This time he can't take the mark. Ryan Bailey's there. Good follow-up tackle by Hodge. Seymour off a step. Kicks to advantage. It's a good one. Finds Castle. Handball over the top now to Neild. This way, that away. Chris Neild doesn't get good purchase on the kick. Taken by Hines. Skillfully gets out of a couple of tackles. Might have tried to do too much. Ball says Anthony Osborn. He releases it though. Towards the boundary line. Out of bounds. He might have just got the faintest of handballs away there, boys. What do you think?
Only just, I think. Yeah. He's probably lucky there.
Great pressure from James Brenner.
Inside 50s, 5-1 Clarence's way in this quarter.
Clarence seemed to really lifted their work rate and their pressure, and it's resulting in the ball staying in their forward half for the majority so far.
Leadham, front position to Aganis. He gets it nicely into Brown by hand to Tyrrell, who's off balance with a kick. It's poor. Jake Cox, he drops an easy mark. Errors all around. Follows up to Jake Cox, goes short. Can't find Castle. Brown's in there again. This is Jimmy Aganis. Comedy of errors in that little passage of play. Got 10 players around the ball on the far side of Windsor Park. Umpire lets it go a long time. Be a ball up on the far side. It's Clarence 3-1-19, Launceston 1-4-10, 7 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, some really scrappy football there in that last minute or so. Plenty of pressure being applied by both sides as the ball goes up. Forward pocket for Clarence. Cries of ball from the travelling fans, but the umpire does agree. At first I thought he might have gone with the ball up, but he's decided that Fletcher Seymour, I think it was, had done enough. So promising start here from Fletcher Seymour, and it's good to see from a Clarence perspective. They obviously got off to a fast start, conceded a goal, and now got the ball back up where they want it. So Fletcher Seymour, tight angle, man on the marks, 30 metres out from goal. Far side here at Windsor Park as Seymour makes his approach. Not a bad looking kick. Not a bad looking kick at all. Fletcher Seymour gets his first, and Clarence, they skip away again. Fantastic start to this term for the Roos. 4-1-25 plays Launceston 1-4-10.
Yeah, great finish from Fletcher Seymour. I haven't seen him play football. I've heard a bit about him at NTFA level, and I did notice the switch earlier in the year, and been a little bit of talk about him. So he has started this game well, and that was a classy finish from where he was.
He's over Mariner's age now, or we will be next year anyway.
Yeah, we'll be next year, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. See, good to see development of a player such as Seymour. He's a good all-round sportsman, former Scotch Oakburn student.
It's good to see someone like that test himself and want to play at the TSL level as well. I think it's terrific.
Absolutely, as Bailey gets this one down towards Jones. They're winning the clearances now. Clarence. Riley attacks the ball. Still in the centre of Windsor Park. He lays a tackle to Dylan Riley. Be a ball up. 4-1-25 Clarence. Launceston 1-4-10, so 5 scoring shots apiece. Inside 50 this quarter. It's 5-1 Clarence's way. They've lifted. As Leadham gets it down to Harper. Although sharking it here was Dickinson, I think, holding the ball. There's a good tackle there from Dylan Riley, and that's one of the features of his game, Hillsy, is the tackling.
Yeah, sure is.
Former Devonport player from last year as Jamison House takes the mark. Shields his eye from the sun and goes shorty looking for Palfreyman. Takes it on his chest. Brody Palfreyman, formerly Western Storm. He's looking inside. Now he darts off. Takes advantage of some space. Kicks to half forward, right in front of us. Whiting rises high and infringes. Play on now with Brady Jones. Kicks it nicely in the middle of Windsor Park. Finds a teammate there in Castle. Castle longhand pulled out at Cox. Cox stops, props. Gets the kick there towards Jordan Young. Couldn't take the mark. Ball in dispute in the middle of the Windsor Park here. It's going to be a ball up, I'd say. It's about 5 players pile on top of it. It's a 4-1-25 Clarence, Launceston 1-4-10. We're across 10 minutes here at Windsor Park.
Yeah, fantastic work there from Young. He made a second effort at that contest and helped play. Hamish Leadham there just unattended at the throw-up. Ryan Bailey playing more as a rover. We'll get a free kick going the way of the Blues at half-back here at Windsor Park.
Quickly, Anthony, it's Glenorchy 28, the Tigers 15. Quarter time.
Very interesting game out at KG5 for that one. Both sides in need of a win. Here at Windsor Park, half forward, and a spearing ball inside 50 for the Roos. Unable to complete the mark. Looked like he didn't even have the ball there at one point. Hamish Leadham just floating about as well. Plenty of happening. We'll get a ball up, forward pocket for Clarence.
That spearing pass again, mate. That was in the orange boots there. Chris Neal once again.
It's had a really promising start to this game, hasn't he, Hillsy?
Definitely having an impact, and that was a great kick going forward.
As it's now in contest. Quick kick out of the pack there. It could be a goal to Clarence. It is.
James Brenner.
James Brenner, number 24. He took his opportunity, put it on the boot, and it came round beautifully. That's another goal to Clarence. 5-1-31. Launceston at 1-4-10. And it's a 21-point lead, and we're playing about 11 minutes into this second quarter.
Yeah, James Brenner, one of a host of new-face Clarence players this season. I'm sure he was the first time seeing the Roos in the flesh this year. Probably a lot of players you wouldn't have seen running around last year out there for the moment.
Definitely looking at the team sheet. I was scratching my head a little bit, but they seem to be really well organised. But the way the game's being played at the moment really suits them. Kamikaze really, like it's the pressure is high and the ball's being played in their half of the ground, which is resulting in goals for them.
Can the Blues respond? Here's Harper. Kicks around the corner. Probably heard the thump on our effects mic there, our radio listeners. Up to half forward. They need a lift from Whiting. He's got it now. He's got Rushton over the top. Who takes it? No, he doesn't quite take it. He needed to clunk that one and didn't. Here's Williamson. Gets it to Weberley, who's under pressure. Prior opportunity. Nope, says Tom McEntee, the umpire. Be a ball up. 45 out from Launceston's goal. And young Jack Rushing just needed to take that mark there.
Yeah, he has been playing at the lower level, and I think just the speed of the game sometimes, it just takes a little while to adjust.
Here he is right on cue. He gets tunnel ball there. Taken by Bailey. Another opportunity for Rushton. In a contest there with Alex Gall. And a bit of a wrestle. And it'll be a ball up about 2 metres in from the boundary line. A little bit of afters there. Which Thorpe joins in the contest. It's Clarence by 21 points. Here's Anthony Osborn.
So Thorpe and Bailey to contest here, just inside the forward 50 here for the Blues. Man was held. Which way is he going to go? Going to go the way of Mitch Thorpe. Thought that might have gone Ryan Bailey's way, but Thorpe now to have his first real look at the sticks, it must be said.
Definitely having a shot, boys. He will not pass this one.
And haven't we got a great view of it? Simon's right behind this one on the camera here.
We did see a 30-metre lead turned into almost a handball around the back in the first term, so we'll be certainly backing him in to have a shot here. Tight angle. As you mentioned, Dave, right in front of us here at Windsor Park. Ryan Bailey, the man on the mark. Thorpe makes his approach now. Leading goal kicker of the competition this season. Hits it quite nicely. Ball just drifts to the far side and punched through for a minor score. So Launceston 1-5-11, play Clarence 5-1-31. 13 minutes gone in this second term.
Mark taken there by Tom Birchall. He goes sideways. Nice, precise kick to switch to the far side. And that's Fletcher Seymour, who's kicked a goal in the second quarter. Invited now to play on. He goes short and finds Williamson. Impressed with Williamson today. Of course, Williamson, a big name at Clarence. We had Mitch Williamson, I think, Hillsey was.
Yeah, Big Brown. He was there for a long time. Kicked a lot of goals. He's a good player.
As Williamson goes up the line, rising high was Leadham. He might have infringed, or was he tunnelled? Let's see what the umpire says. I think it's going to go the way of Clarence. Could have been a nice advantage there, I would have thought. Ball comes back now to Dickinson, who goes short and finds Webberley. He's been active today, Jeremy Webberley. He had a bit of it. Marshalling the troops. He's got a big switch on to Holmes if he wants it. But he goes a bit further than Holmes. Up here looking for Alex Gall, who can't take the mark. Chance now. Contested ball on the wing. Tackle laid there on Ling by Rushton. And there'll be a ball up. Nick Butler comes in. 5-1-31 Clarence. Launceston 1-5-11. Took us about 23 minutes to get the first goal in the game, but they've come after that, especially to the Roos. Ball up. Here's Jakey Smith. He's got some players over the top. Oh, it's a poor kick, and he knows that as soon as he releases it, it goes out the boundary line. Just not on their game today, Hillsey, are they?
No, just one thing I really picked up on, boys, is just that little bit of class they're lacking for, I don't know, Lonergan, Jay Blackberry, even Raleigh Kelly Mansell at times if he's up on a wing. Just foot skills when they go forward and just in and around the clearances. They seem to be winning the ball at the contest a little bit, but not able to use it effectively.
So Troy Cunliffe gets the clearance. He goes over the top to Chambers. Chambers then goes and gets it again, but he's met by Aganis.
Lucky.
Will be high, going the way of Clarence. Driving inside 50, looking for Jake Cox. It's a foot race, and he is in front, Jake Cox, and he'll stroll in and kick his first goal of the day. Clarence, quick break from the centre clearance, and tell you what, if there's a one-on-one foot race with Jake Cox, you do not want to be the other player.
As a coach, Hillsey, you're the ones you hate where you get the easy goal out the back. You're shaking your head, you know exactly what I mean.
Oh, I'm sure Sam Lonergan's in the box right next to us here, absolutely ropeable with what's been able to happen a couple of times. The ball over the back, they've done all the good work up the ground and be able to let the ball get over the back. A few defenders really need to have a look at their team defence there.
No marks inside 50 for this quarter, interesting stat. And the clearances are pretty even, as we've said. Inside 50s, though, it's 7-2 now, Clarence's way, thanks to Dave Gruber on the stats. As Jamison House gets the knockout, but it's sharked here by Harper. He gets a handball now to Cunliffe. Cunliffe inside 50. And good hand in there for the Blues. They needed to, but getting up there was Cox. Gets the handball away. He has kneeled once again for his third. Not this time. One behind Clarence, 6-2-38. Launceston 1-5-11.
Some serious questions being asked of the Blues at the moment as Dylan Riley has the kick out. Fantastic long ball outside defensive 50. The Blues just going back inside through Dan Killalea. He goes out wide looking for Smith. He's had a fair bit of the football so far today as Jakey Smith. He wheels and goes. Finds Polfreman further afield as the Blues go inside 50. Mitch Thorpe out the back. Jason Bailey just lost his place. The umpire's given the free kick to Mitch Thorpe. I thought that would be the case. Mitch Thorpe, very slight angle, about 15 metres out from goal. Jason Bailey just got a bit lost with a quick transition there from the Blues and unable to get back. And man, Mitch Thorpe is going to have his second shot of the term. And we did say in the first quarter that Joby Harper should have kicked a goal from a similar position but missed, so I won't put it in the bank just yet. But Mitch Thorpe with a very good chance at goal.
Slightly better kick of the footy generally. Oh, I shouldn't have spoke.
And just as Hillsey says that, Mitch Thorpe misses to the near side.
Put the mocker on him, haven't I?
We both did, I think, there, Hillsey. We've seen two absolute gimmies for the Blues gone begging. And I think Clarence probably a touch lucky there. Jason Bailey unable to get back, and man, Mitch Thorpe unable to make them pay.
Webberley from full-back. Here looking for Seymour. And over the back, almost taking good mark there. Was a late inclusion in Birchall. Thank you. Comes out now to Brenner. Goal kicker this quarter. Up towards Vandervelde, who takes a nice mark. He's got Hines behind him if he wants to go the handball. Oh, it's the little kick inside. 51 against 3, Sam Rundle. Good luck. He gets a chop with the hand, with the arm, so he'll take a free kick, Sammy Rundle. Shields his eyes as he goes short. He finds Palfreyman. Starting to get a bit of it, the Blues. They need goals. They're a long way back now, 26 points. Palfreyman inside 50. Gillow!
Great mark.
Great mark, James Gillow. Set himself for that. Eyes on the ball. Got the jump. And here's a man who can kick a goal. We've seen him many a time here at Windsor Park in the last couple of years. Kick some bags of goals. So let's see if he can reward that great effort with a goal. 45 out, 45 angle. James Gillow. He'll deliver with the left foot. He's off his game today too with the kicking. As it fades away to the left. Still a chance here from Boyce. Boyce back to Thorpe, who tries to half volley it, doesn't get purchase. Alex Gall's there, and they rush it through Clarence for another behind. 1-7-13. Yes, 1-7-13 to 6-2-38. 8 scoring shots apiece, but they trail by 25 points.
Yeah, some chances going big for the Blues in this quarter. Jeremy Webberley with kick-out duties. He goes short to to Alex Gall in the back pocket here for Clarence. Down the line, looking for Williamson. God, he's marking the ball well today, is Taylor Williamson. He wheels and goes. High ball down the line. Vandervelde competing with Neeld. Jake Hines comes over the top. Gets that ball. Neeld just a bit lost in that contest. Blues go inboard to Dylan Riley. Ryan Bailey manning the mark. Centre circle here at Windsor Park. Riley opting to go forward. Fantastic pass to Jack Rushton. Just outside 50. He goes short to Jamison House. Man on the mark, right on 50. He's got a short option in. Jake Smith, that's who he goes to. And Smith diving forward, takes the mark. Just able to get a little bit of space there with Smith.
They've had a good 5 minutes, Hillsy. They need some goals.
Yeah, some of their better players have really lifted, and you can notice they've got some good inside 50s and some good ball users getting the ball. So they really need to convert. They're desperate for a goal.
So right in front of us here at Windsor Park, Jake Smith going to kick from the paint of 50. That one just fading to the left. Going to pull up short. Thorpe rises, as does Bailey. And Clarence able to run it away through Cunliffe. He goes over the top to Jones. And good work there from the Roos to get it over the top. Looking for Jake Cox. Castle roving it. Bodies flying everywhere. The Roos just propelling this ball forward. As Jake Cox gets on the end of it, he slips. Has the composure to get back up and wheel back onto the left boot. Going inside 50. Looks like Tom Birchall from the pocket. Just misses to the near side. Clarence able to again get that ball out the back and really ask some serious questions of the Blues there, Hillsy.
Yeah, like once again, the defensive structures of Launceston look really, really good, squeezing them in, holding the ball in their half. But a couple of times been getting it over the back, and it's just can't let that happen, unfortunately.
Jake Hines kicks to himself, kicks outside defensive 50, clears the contest. It'll be a boundary throw in front of the light pylon over there on the far side, right half forward for Clarence. And quarter time, they had the 1 goal on the board, so it's 5 goals to 1 in this second quarter. Still probably got another 5 minutes to play. A few goals kicked. Might go close to the 30-minute mark. Half-time, Matthew McGee from Sydney to report on the Allies game, and also Josh Partridge from UTAS Stadium. Boundary throw in. Bailey wins that tap. Now it comes now to Paul Freeman. Funny old kick, but it finds Sonny Whiting. Marks on the chest. Centre wing. They need to build something here, the Blues. As he goes around his opponent in Cowie. Kicks up here towards Killaley, but too tall over the back. Tell you what, if you're looking at the votes, Hillsy, young Williamson here.
He's in the calculations.
He's in the calculations. He might be getting 50 here. No. Just setting the mark as the umpire.
Great set of hands.
Strong body too. He's right in front of the Lonnie Mercury Cup team there. We're all watching together. Kicks up the wing towards Leadham. Thumps it to the front of the contest. Chance here for Jacob Boyd to Hines. Hines spearing past to Thorpe. Right on the edge of his range, you'd think. He wheels and goes. Thorpe from 55 metres. Mitch Thorpe won't make the distance. He's Whiting. In his 150th game, he takes the mark. And he would have kicked a lot of goals from this pocket over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And never was one needed more than it is right now at the 23-minute mark of this second quarter. Sets himself Whiting. He's going to go round the corner. Here he goes. Sonny Whiting. It's a goal. Second goal for the Blues and a goal for Sonny Whiting. His 150th game, 2-7-19, 6-3-39. The margin is 20 points. And that was a lot more system there from the Blues, Hillsy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, their system has been good all game. It's just they haven't been able to convert when going forward. That time Thorpe came up a little bit higher and left space out the back, which Sonny obviously...
that's his game.
Yeah, that's his game. He does really well there, and that was a certain goal for him. He's kicked plenty of those ones.
In the centre, City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5 and the TSL live stream. Thanks to our sponsor on City Park Radio, Telstra stores in the Quadrant Mall in Kings Meadows. Here's Anthony Osborn.
So Bailey and Leadham to compete. Leadham comprehensively wins that one down, but straight to Brady Jones. Back in the Roos side today. Drives the ball inside 50. Jake Hines gets across for Launceston. Scrappy ball there. Clarence able to get it clear. Webberley goes inboard. And a fantastic mark taken there by Gabby Chambers under immense pressure and just backed himself. He was almost running backwards to take that mark. Knew the man was coming from the other side. He's just taking a little while to get up. Here is Gabby Chambers. Looks to be okay.
He's been a great servant for Clarence in the last few years. Hillsy, Gabby Chambers.
Yeah, he's not one I know a lot about, but he's certainly popped up. His name's continued to pop up over the last 2 years, so really good there.
So Gabby Chambers looks like he's going to back himself here to have a shot on goal. He's going to have to kick from probably 45 metres out. Unable to quite get onto that one. It's going to just go to the right side and is punched through for a minor score. So Clarence 6-4-40, play Launceston at 2-7-19. Just under 25 minutes gone in this second term at Windsor Park.
As the kick in duties. Looks like Jake Hines once again. Oh, he kicks to himself, nearly fumbles it. He regains it, goes long. It's a set play, that one. It's happened a couple of times now. Jamison House can't take it. Ryan Bailey can. Off hands, though. He's wrestled over the boundary line. In the Mercury Cup today, Launceston 19-11-125. Defeated Clarence 4-3-27. So well and truly entrenched on the top of the ladder. Lonnie seconds.
It's a replay of last year's
Yep,
grand final.
correct, and Clarence won that one. Good game too. As Leadham gets it down, shark by Cox, releases. Only as far as Hines, or might have been Boyd over there. But, clean bowls, lots of players. Webberley fumbles, costly. Miller Hodge picks up. He's tackled in the follow-up by Webberley. And right in front of the Clarence interchange box, there'll be another ball up. And we've got inside 50s now running at 10-6 this quarter with Clarence. And they're on top of the stoppages now, 9-6. So they've definitely had a good quarter. But let's see who'll have the momentum going into half-time. Next goal might be one that's a bit telling, as it's going to be another stoppage. Anthony, I'll hand over to you to try and break up this congestion.
Yeah, as you mentioned, plenty of bodies around this contest. They'll have another ball up just in front of the Clarence interchange gate. Bailey and Leadham competing. Again, just a swarm of players around this ball. The umpire will take that one back again. It's fantastic to see Jeremy Webberley putting himself through the midfield this season.
He looks fit too.
He's often just put himself the last couple of years across half-back or maybe on a wing, and he's really using his skills in the middle of the ground. He's obviously got some confidence in his body. But here we've got a free kick going the way of the Blues as they look to drive the ball inside 50. Williamson competing. It looks like he's been rewarded again. Fantastic work, Taylor Williamson. Just a brick wall at the moment for the Roos. As Clarence look to move this ball quickly into attack.
Oh.
Go out to the outer side. A dropped mark there from Chris Neal, but he just burns his opponent. Going inside 50, looking for Silva. Riley not there as well. Silva in pursuit. Runs straight into the post, and it will be a minor score. So Clarence 6-5-41, Launceston 2-7-19. 27 minutes in to this second term at Windsor Park.
Casey Brown this time with the kick-out duties. Not great. Falls to Chris Neal. Kicked a cup in this first quarter. In this first half, sorry. Goes again, centering ball. Contest. Oh, nearly a mark there to Clarence. Can't take it now. It's Jake Cox who takes the ball off the pack and slams it through for another one for Clarence. That's his second for the quarter. 7-5-47, Launceston 2-7-19, and Hillsy, that's the one they didn't want, the Blues just leading into half-time, but great work. That's trademark of Jake Cox, isn't it?
It is Jake Cox. He's very dangerous, and he makes you really think about it when he goes near the footy, and I'll tell you what, the way the game's being played, it really suits Clarence. They're just niggling, they're annoying. They not really have a real good style of play or a consistent style of play. It's a bit kamikaze, and it really suits them. And Launceston, it's troubling them a lot.
In the dying moments now, the first half, Anthony Osborn.
So the ball goes up. Ryan Bailey just gets a hand down on that ball. Again, plenty of bodies, contested stuff here. Jake Cox, he's really shown his class in this second term. He goes to the outer side, finds Birchall, one of the inclusions today. He drives the ball to half forward. Not a great kick though, and just taken there by the Blues at half back. Looking to switch, goes to Jake Hines as the halftime siren sounds at Windsor Park. Halftime here, and Launceston 2-7-19 trail the visitors 7-5-47. Really dominant term there from the Roos.
Goal kickers, mate?
Yeah, touch trickier this term after the first quarter. So we've got Sonny Whiting and Miller Hodge with singles for Launceston. Jake Cox and Chris Neal would both have 2 each for the Roos, with singles to Holmes, James Brenner, and also Fletcher Seymour.
He was 6 goals to 2 in that second quarter, and Clarence have taken control of this contest.
Yeah, well, I guess it sort of came out of nowhere a little bit. The first quarter was a bit of a stalemate from both sides, and the contest didn't really look to be going anywhere. But both teams came out with a greater intensity in the second term there, and an amazing quarter really from Clarence. Took the game by the scruff of the neck, and some of the guys who played really well there for them were Neal obviously went forward. He was very dangerous. Weberley just looks to be setting them up perfectly up from half back and through the midfield. His kicking efficiency must be very high, I would imagine, and setting them up. And Williamson, he's been a brick wall down back.
You can probably see in the vision there, those watching the live stream, the purposeful strut by the Launceston coaching staff as they walk across, and you can just tell that Sam Lonergan's not overly happy with that first half.
Wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall in there. I reckon you certainly give some players a serve. That they really need a lift from some players, as you mentioned throughout the call, Dave. Some have been a little bit down today and not been able to use the ball well going forward and convert when they do get it forward, which has been a big issue. 28 points is the margin here at half-time. Coming up in just a moment, we'll have a report from Josh Partridge at UTAS Stadium, and also we'll catch up with Matthew McGee. He was at Blacktown today for the Allies game. Here at City Park Radio, it's 7-5-47 Clarence, Launceston 2-7-19. Back in a sec. Welcome back to Windsor Park at 7-5-47 Clarence.
27.
Launceston 2-7-19. And out at UTAS Stadium for AFL Tasmania, the reporter there today, the match reporter, is Josh Partridge. G'day, Josh. What's the score there at half-time?
North Hobart have just kicked a very late goal in that quarter to have it 7-7-49 to 5-1-31 here at UTAS Stadium.
So, North Hobart, mate, have continued their effort from the first quarter, and they're managing to hold North Launceston.
Yeah, they kicked the first goal of the quarter, and then North Lonnie kind of broke away a bit and had a few shots on goal, a few misses, and converted a few. But they've just, sealed it back a little bit for the 17-point deficit at half-time.
And the goal kickers to half-time?
North Launceston, Cox Goodger with 2, Bannister with 2, Walsh, Burt and Curtis with 1. And for North Hobart, all individual goal scorers, Nathan McCulloch, Cooper Leake, Sean Willis, Bradley Young and William Burgess.
No worries. So just that half-time score again, Josh.
7-7-49 to 5-1-31, North Launceston's favour.
Cheers, mate. We'll let you get on with all your social media stuff, and we'll talk to you again at three-quarter time.
Too easy. Cheers, mate.
That's Josh Partridge there for AFL Tasmania. And that's not a bad effort, Anthony. They've obviously there's a couple of late-outs for those who just joined us. McCulloch and also Whitford were out of the selected side for North Launceston. But when you look at the sheer number of players that were out for North Hobart, that's not a bad result. 7-7 to 5-1.
Yeah, described by Colin Garland in the middle of the week as a 1 in a million sort of circumstance this weekend, with a lot of other things happening. Obviously some representative footy and school footy as well, plus some injuries. But yeah, North Hobart really taking it up to the Bombers, and it's fantastic to see. It'll be a big task to really take it to them in the second half, but I think Bear Robinson and the gang at North Hobart Oval will take plenty out of that opening half at least.
Absolutely, and we'll get a score for you in a little while too from Glenorchy and the Tigers. When I last looked, Glenorchy were quite comfortably ahead there. It's with great pleasure now on City Park Radio. We've got correspondents all over the place, and we've got someone in Sydney who's well known to listeners of City Park Radio as my usual commentator here. It's Matthew McGee. He's been in Blacktown today, of all places, watching the Allies play Vic Country. G'day, Macca. Can you hear us, Macca? Okay, we just haven't quite got him there at the moment.
Macca's let us down.
He has indeed. So I'll try him again there in just a moment.
Can give you a score update from
yes,
KJ5
please do.
if you like there, Dave.
Yep.
Just as I don't want to put you under the bus, but I think the Tigers have just mounted a little bit of a comeback at
Okay.
KJ5. The Tigers currently leading 39 to 35. So it's a match that both sides really need to win. There's been plenty of talk about both of the clubs throughout the week. Glenorchy actually haven't won a game since Anzac Day when they last played the Tigers, and certainly in need of a win at the moment. They've got plenty of work to do.
Okay, I'm going to try Matthew McGee here one more time. Macca, are you with us?
Yes, Dave. Sorry.
That's all right. You got us this time.
Got you now. Can you hear me fine?
Absolutely, loud and clear. Well, Macca, let's start with the score from today's game.
Well, Dave, it was a great day out at Blacktown today, as it was a win to the Allies, which, as you know, included 9 Tassie boys. So the final scores were the Allies 10-10-70 defeated the powerful Vic Country outfit 6-12-48.
And conditions at Blacktown?
Conditions were quite wet, actually. There'd been a fair bit of rain overnight, and also the rain pretty much 3/4 of the game. The AFL actually moved the game from Spotless out to Blacktown, and but look, it didn't deter too much from what was a pretty really good contest. The Allies were actually behind by 2 points at 3/4 time, but then kicked 4 goals to nil in the last quarter.
Okay, we've got our co-commentators here, Anthony Osborn and Mitch Hill. So fire away, boys. Who's got the first question for Macca?
All right, Macca, first question for you, Mose. How did you enjoy Blacktown and the change of venue?
I've actually just got back into the city, Hillsy, and it's a long way and there's a lot of traffic.
We'll leave it at that. So obviously the burning question, mate, is how did our boys go? We had 9 boys representing the Tasmania and the Allies team this week, and how did they fare?
Yeah, look, mate, you'd be really proud of them. Obviously, you had a fair bit to do with them, but it was, especially in the first half, it was Chase Jones. He led all comers on the Allies team with 28 possessions.
Nice.
5 marks, 6 tackles, 2 free kicks, 5 inside 50s, 5 clearances, and 2 goals won.
Wow, did it all.
So it was a great day for Chase Jones.
I think someone who's been a bit of a bolter so far from an outsider has been Fraser Turner. How did young Clarence's Fraser Turner end up going there, Macca?
Yeah, look, Anthony, he was a brilliant player as well. He had 25 possessions. He's just a real runner. He just works and works and works. So he had 25, kicked a goal. Obviously, another one you probably want to know about is Taron Thomas. Taron started the game slowly. They moved him forward. He actually played quite a bit just out of full forward. But he laid a lot of tackles. He laid 6 tackles and ended up with 17 possessions. And even a couple of times when he got the touches, it was the mercurial Taron Thomas today.
All right, Macca, so just wrapping up, mate, do you have the best players there and notable goal kickers, or you just sort of doing it off the cuff there?
No, I got that, mate, here for you. It was Chase Jones. Chase Jones was he was the best for the Allies. Matt McGuinness also played quite well. Mitchell,
nice.
He was in the best players as well.
Terrific.
Along with a big unit from GWS, Kieran Briggs. He kicked 3 goals in the last quarter. He's 200 200 centimetres and 98 kegs, and he can clunk it, big Kieran Briggs.
Yeah, big Briggsy.
Nick Baker, another Tassie boy. He was in the best. A lot of nice spoils and chopping off into the hole.
All right, so overall it was a pretty good day out for Allies, and then I guess the Tasmanian boys were standouts as well, which is what we all want to hear.
Yeah, look, and we also got to see who's touted as the number one pick in Sam Walsh, a strong midfielder from Vic Country. He had 31 touches as well, so it was great to see him play. But you'd be very proud. You know, one thing is that these Tassie boys, they can match up with the best from Victoria.
Fantastic, Macca. Just going forward with the Allies, how is selection for that? Are the players rotated, or do certain players play every game? How does selection go from here in the next few weeks?
Yeah, look, they've got nearly 50 in their Allies squad. So I think, you know, some of the top end kids, they'll play all the games. They've got another game on the Gold Coast next week. And then probably some of those, you know, lesser likes, they might rotate and play a couple of games and then share the workload amongst the others.
And as far as selection's concerned, you know, it must be great for Tasmania to have that many players in the Allies. Do you think this is just an exceptional year, or can you see the talent? I'll ask at Hillsy as well, who's here. Have we got that sort of talent pool coming up in the next year or two as well?
Well, look, one of the boys that is going to come up next year, he played Allies today as a 17-year-old, so as a first year, was Mitch O'Neill.
Yep.
He also had 25 touches as well, Mitch O'Neill, Hillsy, and you've seen a bit of him.
Yeah, mate, he's had a standout year, so to be in the Allies squad and perform at that level, and obviously pretty well by the sound of it, is pretty encouraging for him going forward to next year. He's also in the under-17, AIS squad as well, and had a terrific year. He was one of our best players in the under-18 carnival, and tracking really nicely for next year. We do have a reasonable group coming through next year, especially at the top end. So
yep. And of course,
the 16s and the 17s are up here on Monday. They're playing New South Wales up at Blacktown on Monday.
Fantastic. Any major injuries out of today's game, Macca? Did everyone come through unscathed?
No injuries. Taryn Thomas did cop a little blow to his thumb/wrist area early in the game.
Yep.
Which did put him off for a little bit of time, but no major injuries.
Okay, mate, we'll let you go. Enjoy the sights there of Sydney. So just repeat that final score again for us, if you've got it there.
Yeah, so the final score was the Allies, 10-10-70, defeated Vic Country 6-12-48.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for giving up your time over there, and safe trip back, and thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio.
No worries, boys. Enjoying the call.
No worries. That's Matthew McGee, our correspondent there for City Park Radio, up at the Allies game, and he must be proud of those boys, you know, to reach that level, and they're just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, it's been terrific to be involved with that group, especially this year. But for the last 2 or 3 years, to see them come through, we knew they were a super talented group. But to go through the Academy Series unbeaten and get such great representation in the Allies squad initially, and then today in round one to have 9 players playing, and some of them being in the best players, it's great signs for them towards the end of this year, and for us to get guys drafted, which is what we want.
Yep.
Tasmanian boys playing the AFL, so. It's great, and it's great for everyone involved with our program, and everyone supports the Tassie Mariners and the Tassie Mariner program. So it's been great to be involved in it.
Fantastic. It's Mitch Hills here on City Park Radio, joining us in commentary. Let's have a look at turn our attention back to this game just for a moment. We'll go through some team stats, and then we'll have a short break here and come back and set the scene for the second half. The team stats to half time. The hit-outs, 25 to Launceston, 12 to Clarence. So Hamish Leadham continuing to get his hand on the ball there. In the hit-outs, clearances 17 to 12 now Clarence's favour. Inside 50s, it's 19 apiece, but Clarence had 12 to 6 in that second quarter. Marks inside 50, 4 to Launceston, 1 to Clarence. So they're dominating in that area. Shots on goal, 12 to Clarence, 9 to Launceston at half-time. And the free kicks are 15 to Lonnie and 12 to Clarence. So that's some of the team stats. Thanks to Dave Gruber here giving us the great team stats as usual on City Park Radio. The half-time score here, 7-5-47 Clarence, 2-7-19 Launceston. We'll be back in a moment to set the scene for the second half here at Windsor Park.
I'm here to talk about the Reading Writing Hotline. It's a service that helps adults who can't read and write as well as they'd like to. The number is 1300 655 06. Give them a call if you know somebody who needs help with reading and writing. It's never too late to learn, and it's easier than you think. 1300 655 06. The Reading and Writing Hotline. 1300 655 06. Supporting our community. City Park Radio.
Have you noticed? Nothing doesn't grow on trees. If it did, City Park Radio wouldn't have a worry. It's left to people like you and me to support community radio in our area. For less than $1 a week, you can show your support to the station you're listening to right now by becoming a member. Just $45 a year will assist the volunteers to keep City Park Radio live and alive in our community. So phone the station now, 6334 3344, and pledge your support as a member.
Lift in the second half and get a W.
And the Bombers, 7-7-49, leading North Hobart 5-1-31. So we've got the biggest margin at the moment. We wouldn't have expected that pre-game, that's for sure. So it's 47-18 here. And we've got also some news there from, there's a big game at the independent schools today, Hutchins versus St Pat's. Sort of the winner sort of stays in the competition. It was 4 points the difference. Hutchins leading St Pat's there at three-quarter time. So
Close one.
that's another close one. Okay, Hilsey, we'll hear from Warnie in just a moment. But what are you expecting in the second half? Can you see the Blues have got an opportunity to get back into this game?
Oh, they've certainly got a chance. It's certainly not a done deal just yet. And the way that Sam Lottigan, as you mentioned, strutted across the oval there, he had a few things he definitely had on his mind and wanted to say to the group. And you'd expect them to certainly come out firing initially in the second half. If you're Clarence, you'd be doing much of the same, I think. They've had their good players play really well and are doing good things.
Got Warnie now, who's probably been down in the Clarence rooms, I reckon, because it's sometimes hard to get into the Launceston ones. Anyway, Warnie, where have you been?
I have been in the Launceston rooms, but I didn't get a hell of a lot there. So we do see Clarence running out on the ground now. They're out there ready to go for this second half. But Lonnie, a bit quiet in there, and Sam took them away and put them in the room for quite a while, probably the longest I think I've seen since my time covering the Launceston rooms over the last couple of years. So it was pretty quiet, sort of somber there. Probably a few heads that might just want might want to lift up a little bit as they come out here for the second half. But I've got Rala Kelly-Mansell here, who was in the rooms. Now, what was the message there from Sam?
It's pretty much the message that we've been trying to deliver all game or all week pretty much, and that's just stick to the structure that we know and just embrace the challenge. I mean, we obviously haven't kicked straight, which is fine, but it's just little things that we need to fix up, and I really think the boys will in the second half. Well, we responded well last week. We let ourselves down the first half last week. We've done it again this week, so I reckon we'll respond.
Now, Sam is a pretty calm bloke when you hear him out there. Did he raise the voice a little bit inside there then?
Yeah, he did a little bit, which is probably needed as well, as you can see at the moment. So it doesn't happen too often, but when it does happen, the boys do respond. So.
What do you think the key is then for these first few minutes here of this quarter to get yourselves back into the game? Obviously, it's pretty close with the shots on goal with both sides, and that's been a bit factor. But what do the Blues need to do as they're kicking towards the city end for this third quarter?
I think we just need to try and launch, get it inside 50. You know, I think when you kick the ball, when you get it inside your 50s, inside 50, you give your forwards the best opportunity, and sometimes you stuck playing handball footy sometimes through the midfield, and just need to get that balance right. 1-2 handball, then kick it in. Give our, Sonny, Mitch, Powerful's down there, I suppose, an option at it, and let them do the rest.
Now, the boys are running around in a pretty good-looking Guernsey there for the Indigenous Guernsey for the Lonnie team. Now, can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, it's the first jumper that we've worn, I suppose, as a men's senior team. So it's pretty special and significant. The designs on the Guernsey symbolise where we are in the Tamar River. It has the river coming through it, and it has petroglyphs, which are up on the west coast of Tasmania, which are sort of ancient symbols carved into rocks, which are found on Mount Cameron up on the west coast. So they're sort of, I suppose, through the Guernsey, and then there's obviously there's some wombats and some kangaroos symbolising where we are as a very terrain sort of area with animals that used to roam around here. So that's pretty much it. And we wore it last week away, but we thought we'd wear it again for a home game. And we've got the flag up today, and I think we might try and wear it again later in the year against North, hopefully, the night game.
Excellent. Now, you're out at the moment, and there's a few stars of the Lottie side out. When do we expect you and some of the other boys back?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to be back within sort of 3 to 4, but I don't know. It just sort of depends on how I go, I suppose. But there's a few boys out. Sam's still obviously out with his ankle at the moment. Hopefully he's back soon. Jay's obviously won't be back for the rest of the year, which is upsetting. But we've got Tom Monday, who should be right by next week, and a few other boys that are putting their hand up for selection in the D-League. So the good thing about our club at the moment, we've got a deep list at the moment, so we can actually find blokes to come in as well. As you can see today with Jacob Boyd and Miller Hodge has been playing, and Jamison House, Ben Killaley's out there. So we've got a good list.
Now, are you heading into the box?
Yeah, I'm going to head in the box. I'll just sit at the back and take it pretty easy. I might just laugh at Bobby Hills while he does a bit of his best stuff up there that he's doing in his nice flannelette shirt that he's got on. So
he's dressed beautifully for radio. Thanks, boys. We're ready to go in this second half.
Thanks, Warnie. Great interview there with Raleigh Kelly Mansell, who's out with illness at the moment for the next few weeks. What do you think about that one, Hillsy? Get the ball in quickly? Think that's a way to go?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's the key, isn't it?
Yep.
You've got some really talented and big and key forwards down there, so you get it to them, and like Raleigh said, and they'll do the rest.
City Park Radio, 96.5, 103.7 TSL live stream. We're underway in the second half. Here's Anthony Osborn.
So Bailey wins that one down. And then in pursuit of the ball, Joby Harper at the bottom of the pack. Just enough time to get up. He's been really impressive today, Joby Harper. And then all around this ball, Jamison House with it. Taylor Williamson wraps him up. And the umpire says that he had prior opportunity. So Taylor Williamson starting the second half like he played the first, it must be said. It's been really good aerially, taking several really strong contested marks across the half-back line, but just showing his wares with a good tackle as well. Alex Gall drives out to the half-forward flank. Fisted away by Jake Hines, and we'll have a throw-in. Punched up the ground to centre wing.
Great conditions still, Anthony, isn't it? Not a breath of wind at all today. It's been fantastic.
Magnificent day here at Windsor Park. Couldn't ask for a better day for football. And there's been a fair bit of rain during the week, but the ground is in fantastic nick at the moment. So the ball comes in from the umpire. Bailey and Leadham competing as they so often have today. Palfreyman roves brilliantly. Just getting the ball over the top. Cunliffe maybe taken high by Palfreyman. The umpire agrees as well. Cunliffe just slotted seamlessly into this Clarence side as he wheels and goes. Driving the ball, looking for his teammates. You've got Tim Castle there for Clarence. Vandervelde in pursuit for the Blues. Castle wrapped up by Jimmy Aganis, and now Vandervelde.
Troy Cunliffe from Lindisfarne?
From Lindisfarne, yes.
Yep.
My home suburb.
Best and fairest?
Yes, SFL Best and Fairest winner for a
yep.
couple of years, actually. He was considered to be the best player in the comp for a couple of seasons.
As Jake Cox gets a quick kick, not to advantage, as Harper takes it, not 15, he has to play on. Falls now here towards Harper, who kicks quickly towards Neild. Well done, Vandervelde. Gets a hand into the contest, gets pushed off it, out of bounds, forward pocket. No score as yet in this third quarter. 2-7-19 Launceston, Clarence 7-5-47. It's a boundary throw in adjacent to the right behind post. It's Clarence going to the northern end of the ground here in this third quarter. Comes down, taken by Boyd. Kick quickly. Falls to Ling, can't take possession. Out to House with strength. Breaks it, great smother though. Still a chance for Clarence inside their 50. And House once again to Palfreyman. Might have been tackled without it, yes. We get a free kick with Brady Palfreyman. And he relief for the Blues off half-back.
So Fletcher Seymour, the one just holding on to Palfreyman. It's just the Blues again, just forced to sit and wait. Goes inside to Hamish Leadham. He's got the ball back of the centre square. Broadcast side. He goes out wide. He finds his teammate in Ryan Tyrrell. He goes down the line looking for Sonny Whiting. Game 150 for the Launceston Star. James Holmes then just takes that ball over the line. Really set the tone early to James Holmes. Stood really, for such a small player, he just throws himself at every contest and stood really tall early in that first quarter. Him and Taylor Williamson in defence. proving really influential. Boundary throw in. Bailey wins it down. Harper at the bottom for Clarence. And the umpire will take that one and we'll have a ball up.
Game starting a little bit similar to the first quarter. A lot of positive passages of play. As umpire McEntee throws the ball aloft. Leadham wins the tap, only as far as Webley. Falls now to Harper. A bit quieter in the second quarter was Harper. Cunliffe was tackled. High tackle there on the Clarence player. Infringing was Brown. And Ashton Dickinson takes it. Back into the centre square. Nice penetrating kick on left foot. Chris Neild flies high. Falls now towards, that's Hodge, I think, has got it. He's tackled. Releases. Jake Cox hovering. Here he is. Jake Cox for goals. Might be number 3. It's off to the left, though. One behind. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time, Jake Cox, doesn't he, Hilsey?
Yeah, he's a smart footballer for sure, and when he does get it, he normally uses it pretty well, so it's surprising he missed that shot.
So kick out for Launceston. Pack forms. Leadham flies. He's got Boyd there for him as well. Jamison House there. Fantastic tackle laid there by Ashton Dickinson. He's been really impressive this season. Gets the free kick, wrapping up Casey Brown. So Brown is the man on the paint of 50. Dickinson just backing himself here. He might have a shot on goal. Very mobile forward line that Clarence have at the moment. Perhaps just unsettling this Launceston defensive group. So Ashton Dickinson, slide angle. He's going to have to kick from about 55 metres out. Certainly not going to make the distance. A pack forms and flying there was Neild. Unable to complete the mark as Paul Freeman roves. Fantastic work from Dickinson to follow up his effort. Just surging forward here at the Roos. Launceston able to scrap the ball out. Jamison House, he moves well for a big man. Puts his teammate under pressure.
High tackle.
And a high tackle going the way of Launceston. Half-back flank for the Blues.
Jake Smith on the bottom of that. They'll emerge with a free kick. First goal was so important in this quarter. Margins out to 29. It's not a high-scoring game, so anything beyond 5 goals might be beyond the Blues. Here's Aganis. Cross now to Riley, who's got a lot of possessions across half-back. Waits for the ball to sit. Sums up his options. Cruises around his opponent. There in silver. Long kick from Riley. Up here towards Brown. Couldn't take it at the first grab. Chance now for Ryan Bailey. Hands now to Cox. Cox short. It's a Seymour. Sorry, that was Chambers. Back to Cox. Another chance for Jake Cox. He's second for the term, and he's missed again to that left-hand side. 7-7-49. 2-7-19. It's an even 5 goals. Hutchins lead by 5 points in the last quarter down at the Hutchins Oval against St Pat's. Close one there. Long kick out from Hines. Contest at half-back. Ball falls to the front. Well done to Rundle. Back to Jimmy Aganis. And taking the mark there at half-back is Jake Smith.
So Jake Smith on the outer wing. He goes down the line. Finds a teammate. I think that might be Whiting. He turns around. Got a few options, but the Blues just move the ball to half forward. Mitch Thorpe providing a target. Fantastic work from Jason Bailey, getting a fist over the top. That ball has rolled out of bounds for a throw-in.
Tough opponent.
50.
Sorry, mate. Tough opponent, Jason Bailey. You would have lined up on him.
Yeah, many times.
Yep.
Deceivingly strong for his size, and he can play tall and small, and he recovers really well. So he's a tough matchup, and the delivery from the Lonnie midfielders hasn't helped Thorpe at all.
So the umpire's whistle, and it will be a free kick going the way of Clarence. So a nice way to get out of defensive 50 here for the visitors. Down the line finds Silva. Outer wing here at Windsor Park. Beautiful conditions for football. Just stagnant at the moment here. A fantastic smother out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. That's what Launceston need to do. They need to really put Clarence defensive group under pressure and just hem that ball inside 50 for a while.
They look like they need a spark, don't they, Lonnie? They're a bit flat. They've been flat all day, and they're lacking that silk and class through the midfield, and they need someone to lift them.
Leadham and Bailey share the honours there. Comes out towards Harper. It's now to Joby Harper, who gets tackled by Jones. Releases the ball. Chance now here for Harper. That's Harper for Clarence. It's out of play. Boundary throw in. 7-7-49 Clarence, 2-7-19. And might just get some TSL scores here in a minute. Anthony, see how they're going. They're probably just underway in the third quarter. Just a reminder that Tigers were springing the surprise at KG5 at half time. And Northern Bombers up by about 3 goals against North Hobart. Out it comes towards Brenner. Falling on it is Rundle, and he might have taken the legs underneath his opponent. Yes, that's what the umpire says.
Destin got some relief as they start to go through, but just straight through the legs, and Jake Cox able to emerge. He finds Fletcher Seymour. Scrappy ball inside 50.
Ooh.
Touched. Gutsy work there from the Blues. Jake Cox gets the ball again. He's just racking up the touches so far this quarter. Immense pressure being applied here on Launceston. And Clarence get reward. Boundary throw in right on 50, directly in front of us, broadcast side, Windsor Park. Clarence just really applying that forward pressure at the moment.
I think they might put Thorpe up the ground in a minute here, Hillsy.
You hate to see him just sit at full forward, especially
Yep.
when the ball hasn't been down there. You like to see him get a little bit higher, get involved, get his hands on it, get the confidence up. He's certainly a confidence player. So
Throw against Tom Shepherd there. So it'll be a free kick to Clarence. Ashton Dickinson. It's about 55 metres out from goal. Probably too far out to score. Crowded 50 ahead. There is a little bit of space for a lead if it comes. But Ashton Dickinson is going to back himself. Right on 50. Not bad contact. Ashton Dickinson. Ashton Dickinson has scored the goal for Clarence. Inside that right-hand goal post. He backed himself from 55, and that's another one for the Roos. 9-7-61. Launceston 2-7-19. And from the resultant free kick there, a throw paid against Tom Shepherd. Dickinson has made no mistake for the Roos.
Dickinson's been a real live wire. It's one I've never seen before, once again, and he's provided a real target and bounce in that forward line, and a great goal there from outside 50. Terrific kick.
And he had a shot a couple of minutes ago from a similar distance outside from goal and didn't really make great contact at all. He missed it by about 20 metres, but that's on there.
He obviously knew he had it in him, though, because he went back far enough, so bit of me time, but he deserved it, so well done to him.
Back in the centre here at Windsor Park. Ball immediately down. Fletcher Seymour applying the tackle. Brady Jones in there as well, as he so often is. We'll have another ball up in the middle.
Pies back in front, Anthony. 53-39 at KGV.
A quick start for the Pies in the second half down there. Sure they would have got quite an address from Paul Kennedy at the main break. Here at Windsor Park, strong mark from Dylan Riley at centre half back. He goes out wide. Launceston going inboard there to find Hamish Leadham. A few players starting to present, looking for Jake Smith. Takes a strong mark right on the 50. Really good leading there by Jake Smith. He made his player, Ryan Cowie, work quite hard and was able to get himself into a strong position. So he'll be kicking from just outside 50. He's again gone back and perhaps taking a leaf out of Ashton Dickinson's book. So he makes his approach now, nice and steady. As he launches, might not quite make the distance. Ryan Bailey and James Holmes punch it over the line. He got pretty good contact on it. Ryan Bailey got himself into a good position. So Clarence, they lead 9-7-61 to Launceston at 2-8-20.
Only the second inside 50 for Launceston this quarter through, 12 and a half minutes. This is now with Ben Killee. It's the third one as it goes straight back in. And Thorpe's there, can't take the mark. It might be a free kick, is it, to Mitch Thorpe? It is. There's umpire Nick Butler is pointing the way of Launceston, and the ball comes out to Mitch Thorpe. And, wow, do they need this one? You wouldn't think he'd miss two from close in, Hillsy.
Well, you wouldn't, but I'm not going to say anything. I've put the mock on him before, so he shouldn't miss this one.
They desperately need this one to stay with any hope, because they're 41 points down. Mitch Thorpe practices his kicking style. Nick Butler sets the mark. Central umpire. On the mark is James Holmes. Deliberate approach, Mitch Thorpe. Keeps it pretty low, and he's missed. Another miss to Mitch Thorpe. Hillsy can't believe it.
That
and
is
you probably heard
unbelievable.
the crowd groan in the background. 2-9-21 Launceston. Clarence 9-7-61.
Yeah, it's a big blow there for the Blues. Good opportunity through Mitch Thorpe as Clarence drive the ball out of defensive 50. Simon Vandervelde competing well there for Launceston. Bit of a scrum forms. Ball hacked, trying to find Tim Castle there on the wing. Troy Cunliffe does well, but only as far as Jamison House. He links up as the Blues go out wide at half forward, looking for Sonny Whiting. Fantastic mark. Right on 50. Has he got this in him?
Yeah, he does have it in him, but he's looking to pass at the moment, but he's a bit of me time. He's gone back a few more steps and looking to back himself. Certainly got the journey.
Game 150 for Sonny Whiting. Kicked his 400th goal a fortnight ago for the Blues. He launches. That one not going to quite make the distance. The ball actually goes forward. And the Blues have got a goal.
James Gillow? No, it's one behind. One behind.
They've heard a few cries there. There was just a pack formed and a kick out of thin air there from James Gillow. But unable to get the 6 points. Launceston 2-10-22. Clarence 9-7-61. 14.5 gone in this third term.
Williamson takes the mark at half back. Real good second quarter did Williamson. Oh, but it's poor play here. It's intercepted here by Jake Smith. He cruised into goal. Should be an easy one for the Blues as it is. Goal to Jake Smith, and that's one they desperately needed. That's their third of the day. 3-10-28. Clarence 9-7-61. And just as I was praising up Taylor Williamson, Hilsey, he goes the switch, turns it over, resulting goal.
Everything's worked for him today. He's done everything right, but that was a horror switch of play. He telegraphed it to the opposition, and Jake Smith was able to read the cues there and get an easy goal.
Well, that's as I said, that's desperately needed. 33 points the margin. There's still time. We're about halfway through this third quarter. And against the run of play, perhaps that one. They've had a few inside 50s recently. They're now up to 8-5 and 3 in succession there. Listen to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5 and via the TSL live stream. Here's Anthony Osborn.
So Birchall in the ruck there for Clarence against Jamison House. We'll have that one replayed immediately.
Another Launceston goal here, certainly make it interesting, boys, for the last term.
Just noticed Fletcher Seymour looks to be running with Joby Harper at the moment as well, so keep an eye on that as the quarter progresses. Brady Jones roves the ball there out on the wing, looking to find Alex Silva at half forward.
Good mark.
Fantastic mark from Alex Silva. Has a knack of bobbing up and kicking goals. Kicked 5 last week against the D. Sells a bit of candy. Goes inside 50. Now at the back, Tim Castle unable to quite complete the mark. Chris Neild, dangerous in the pocket. Gets the hands off to Castle. Castle tries to snap, but it's just a real up and under. Vandervelde punches. Perhaps not the right call there. Dylan Riley, who again just kicks straight up in the air. And Jake Cox takes the ball, has a shot on goal, and kicks the fantastic goal there, Jake Cox. What a finish from the Clarence star. His third, the first of the term for the Roos, and his first of the term for the Roos, I should say. And just after Launceston hit the scoreboard, Clarence respond straight away.
That'll be on the Facebook highlights this week, Anthony, when you chop them up.
Absolutely. Magnificent finish there from Jake Cox. He just has a habit of finding those mercurial goals, and he's putting together quite a good season, it must be said, in the red and white.
Classy stuff, Hilsey.
I don't think he's had many bad seasons, mate. No, he's just got an unbelievable ability to do those sort of things. He can do things you don't expect, and I've seen it many times, so I'm not surprised.
I just remember him in that Western Storm versus Clarence final.
Don't go there,
no,
mate.
but it's a good finish there.
We got the win, but he haunted me that whole game.
He had a big day. Great game. One of the best TSL games I've ever seen, that one.
It was a good game.
The preliminary final back in 2014.
14, yeah.
Yep. As it's a free kick out of the middle to Dylan Riley. It's right in the centre of Windsor Park. And that's a bit of a killer, that last goal for the Blues. As Palfreyman's got it, leans back, delivers nicely to Jake Smith, who hasn't been the worst for the Blues. He's got a few possessions. Handballs back to Hodge. Big long kick inside 50. No mark taken there by Gillow. Contest on the ground. Joby Harper's in there. Clarence players call for out in the full. And the boundary umpire, I think, agrees with those Clarence players. It's going to be a free kick deep in the back pocket for Clarence. They lead by 39 points. Nearly 18 minutes gone in the third quarter. Up the line it goes. Dickinson from behind. Castle couldn't take the mark. Out of the congestion there is Savage. But only gets it as far there as Ryan Bailey, who switches towards Holmes. Dangerous. Sonny Whiting's there. He's hovering. Might have got a push in the back. Yep. Well, holding the man, says the umpire. So Sonny again had a lot of shots recently from this 50-metre line. So let's see how they go with this one. Sonny Whiting, mentioned a few times today, 150th game. Saw him kick 11 here one day back in 2013 against Burnie. It was one of the best individual efforts I've seen at TSL level. In comes Sonny Whiting. Cut the margin for the Blues. He doesn't go for it. He goes short instead. It's a beautiful pass. And a mark taken on the chest there by James Gillow. Tough angle though.
Tough spot. They're getting in the inside 50s, but shots from difficult spots. I listened to a call earlier in the year, Fozzie, against North Launceston, and it was a similar problem. Sort of the inside 50s and difficult shots on goal resulting in behinds.
Wrong side for the left footer, so he goes the check side. Not a bad finish from James Gillow. He loves it. He charges after it. And that's a goal to the Blues, a badly needed one. 4-10-34, 10-7-67. They stay in touch. And that's one thing we love about James Gillow's game. He'll wherever he is, whether it be a snap or a set shot, he's always in the game. He's got that uncanny knack for goal.
Oh, he does. He's real silky around goals, isn't he? He looks classy. So I'm really looking for him to develop over the next couple of years into a really strong TSL senior player.
Hutchins lead now by 17 points in that crucial game down in Hobart. So looks like they'll probably go in the state final now against Scotch Oakburn. It's back in the middle. Margin's 33 points. Here's Anthony Osborn.
So the ball one down there by Leedham. Brody Palfreyman at the bottom of the pack. Competing well is Ling. Just moving the ball forward here are the Roos, but Launceston able to go back the other way. Just in the centre of the ground here at Windsor Park. Kick off the ground only as far as Dylan Riley. He goes back and they go to the side, to the outer side here at Windsor Park, just in front of the interchange bench. The Roos under a bit of pressure here as Launceston go inside 50 looking for Thorpe. Potentially being held on to. The umpire didn't agree. Thorpe slaps the ball back inside looking for Rushton. Handball's over the top looking for Thorpe in the pocket. Clarence just doing enough here to get the ball out. Really, really composed performance there from the Roos. But the ball might come back with interest. Jake Hines in pursuit. He goes inboard.
Kick.
Does well to find Savage.
Yep.
And they go right back and across. Brady Jones going to make the contest. Unlucky bounce there for Jones as the Blues look to move back off the half-back line. Going off to the outer side. Boyd. Little chiselling kick inside 50. Mark not taken. Ryan Cowie with the ball on his left boot. Drives it away. Again, has perhaps pushed under that one there at half-back for Launceston. The ball just pinged between half-back and half-forward here.
As it's marks taken by Jacob Boyd. He's doing well back in the side today.
Finding plenty of it, Fozzie, isn't he, over there?
He's kicked smothered. Now, did their player encroach over the mark? No, it's a boundary throw-in. 10-7-67, Launceston 4-10-34. I've always got this rule of thumb, Hillsy, if you can be within 5 goals at three-quarter time, you're right in a game, and they're just outside that at the moment.
For the benefit of the stream, we hope
absolutely.
We hope so.
And our listeners on City Park Radio, of course.
Of course.
There's the boundary throw-in, right in front of the Clarence interchange bench there. Contest is important here. Who's going to launch an attack? Tyrrell takes it. He's tackled immediately. Tries to break through that tackle from Brenner. Not penalised as the ball comes out to Palfreyman. Get some TSL scores in a second. Interesting round of footy this long weekend. Good crowd in today at Windsor Park. As Boyd almost has an airy there with the kick. He misses altogether. Be another contest. And I'll get you to break it up, Anthony, and we'll tell us some TSL scores.
Yeah, so for the Utah Stadium, North Launceston 98 playing North Hobart 31. So the Bombers just breaking away there. And at KG5, 10-point ball game in favour of the Magpies. So the Tigers just hanging around down there at KG5.
As it comes back to Brown. Kicks off a step up the wing. Player in front there could have taken the mark. That was Thomas Birchall. The Roos have got it. They kick poorly out of bounds on the full. Inside 50s. It's quarter 9-8, so Launceston were trailing badly in that stat early on, but they've almost evened the ledger. Aganis goes short, not a great kick, intercepted by Clarence. Player in Jones, and it's knocked out of play.
How have you seen Brady Jones' game? Yeah, he was obviously back in the side today. He was named last week, but a late out. How have you seen him today?
I think he's been really influential, actually, in and around the stoppage there. He's been hard, he's been contested, he's laid a lot of big tackles, and as I said at the start of the game, really lifted the boys around him, so I think he's really beneficial to have in there.
If you are just tuning in, Jackson O'Brien and Harry Richmond laid outs for the Roos, but as we are here live, free kick going the way of Launceston. Holding the ball, there was Jake Cox. So the Blues with an opportunity to push forward. That ball finding Jacob Boyd. Chiseling one inside 50, cut off there by Clarence. Look to go to the outer side. James Brenner, a bit of the ball today, James Brenner. Kicked a fantastic goal in the second term. He's got it at half-back for the Roos. Opts to go out wide. Alex Silva, a target down the line if he wants it. Jake Cox there as well. Goes back inside to Brenner. Launceston just halting the Clarence Roos at the moment. We can make the big switch on the outer side. Pack forms. Some numbers are there for both sides. Magnificent work. I think that might have been Rushton at the bottom there.
Yep.
Put his body on the line to make the contest, and that could be a big win there for Launceston. The umpire will take that one. We'll have a ball up on the wing here at Windsor Park. Really good work there by Jack Rushton to form a contest and lock that ball in there for the Blues.
24 and a half minutes. Probably 2 or 3 minutes left in this quarter. And a crucial one for the Blues. They need a goal going into three-quarter time. From a Clarence point of view, they'd like to score one themselves or hold it at the current margin. Got another stoppage. 10-7, 67 Clarence. Launceston 4-10-34. Sun streaming across Windsor Park. Not a breath of wind, as we've said today. Here it goes now with Dylan Riley. He kicks inside 50. Jamison House. He'll have the best recovery. He didn't take the mark. Handball off to Miller Hodge. Didn't take it with him. He's now surrounded by Clarence opponents. He throws the head back looking for a free kick. But it's none forthcoming. It'll be a ball up. And just at this level, Hillsy, you haven't got that second chance, have you? If you, don't take your opportunity.
If there's one knock on the boy, it's just, sometimes those little errors that start to creep in when, there are bodies around. So you do like to see them go with two hands and do the basic things really well every time.
Nick Butler clearing the area. House and Bailey. Harper's in there. Both Harpers, in fact, they contest for the ball. That's Jared and Joby. Another stoppage. We had a fair few. The clearances this quarter. 6-5. Clarence, Launceston's way. So pretty even. They've been pretty even all day. As it's, we've got their Jamison House in the ruck contest. Not a great throw up. Didn't get any elevation. House again. That comes out to Boyd. He's had a big third quarter, Jacob Boyd. He leans back on a kick inside 50 to Jake Hines. He plays on Jake Hines, delivers for goal, and he's off to the left. That was the one they needed. 4-11-35, 10-7-67. They trail by 32. Dying minutes of this third quarter.
Yeah, almost would have backed Jake Hines from there, put under a bit of pressure, just missing to the left-hand side. So Clarence to clear. Jake Cox the target at half forward, but a fantastic mark taken there from Hines. He's got some options inside 50. Looking for Rushton. Strong mark taken. It was perhaps a bit of a havoc ball there for Rushton. Just hung in the air for a little while, but he backed himself and took a strong mark.
I know what you were thinking, Hillsy. That was the eye of the needle, wasn't it?
He was unopposed inside 50.
Oh, is that what it was?
He went near him. He could have had a cup of tea in there. He was not sure what happened there with the Clarence defenders. I think they were zoning off looking for the longer one, but I'm not sure about Rushton's kicking. We'll soon see.
So Rushton making his approach at the moment. James Holmes on the mark.
Yeah,
and that is not a great kick at all from Jack Rushton.
Whoop.
And Mitch Thorpe took the mark, but out of bounds on the full from Rushton. So he called it there, Hillsy. Not a great finish there for the Blues.
No.
Long kick out of defence. Not long left in this third quarter. Here's Chris Neal, takes the ball as the siren sounds. The quarter went 27 and a half minutes, and the three-quarter time score 10-7-67 Clarence. They kicked 3 goals, 2 in that quarter. So 10-7-67, Launceston 4-11-35. They kicked 2 goals, 4. So maybe just in touch, Hillsy, leading into the last quarter. But we'll get to that in a sec. We must do the goal kickers first, of course.
Yeah, so for the hosts, Launceston singles to Sonny Whiting in game 150. Miller Hodge, Jake Smith and James Gillow. For the Roos, 3 goals to Chris Neild and 3 to Jake Cox. Singles to James Holmes, Ashton Dickinson, James Brenner and Fletcher Seymour.
Clarence did the better of that quarter, Hillsy, but perhaps the latter 10 or 15 minutes, or the latter part of that quarter, Launceston did lift. Once again, they just didn't get the reward on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it really feels like they're pressing and they're really trying, but they're just not getting the reward at the end of the day. We're getting shots from difficult positions. Things are just, they're missing easy shots when they do get easy shots. And Clarence would be happy, again, another win in that quarter. And it'd be hard to see them losing from here. Lonnie going to have to double their score. So it could happen, and for the benefit of the stream and for City Park Radio listeners, Fozzie, we'd love to see that happen. Maybe kick the first 2 or 3 and she's on, but if it's played in the same fashion it has been, I don't think so.
The Blues do like to kick to the right of screen here, though. They like kicking to the northern end of the ground where the club rooms are. We'll never know. We'll wait and see. Three-quarter time here at Windsor Park. It's Clarence 10-7-67, Launceston 4-11-35. For our radio listeners and our stream viewers, we'll just take a break here from Windsor Park for just a moment. This contest here at Windsor Park. It's 10-7-67 Clarence, Launceston 4-11-35. At UTES Stadium, it's a big day for all the old North Launceston players. It's the Back to North Day. And to see how they're going against North Hobart, another big traditional team in Tassie footy. It's now time to cross to Josh Partridge. G'day, Josh.
How you going?
Good, mate. Tell us what the score is at three-quarter time.
Very late the third quarter here. It is 16-8, 104 to 6-1, 37 here at UTES Stadium. A 9-goal-to-1 quarter for North Launceston in one-way traffic game for them at the moment.
And major goal kickers, or the goal kickers to nearly three-quarter time, Josh?
Cox Goodger with 3, Burt with 3, Bannister with 2, singles to Walsh, Bennett, Ponting, Avent, Mansell, Sharman, Curtis and Harris. And then for North Hobart, singles to McCulloch, Leake, Willis, Young, Wilmot and Burgess.
No worries, Josh. So obviously the floodgates have opened a little bit in that third quarter.
Yeah, it's been all one-way traffic here at UTES Stadium for the moment.
No worries, mate. We'll check back with you at full time. Just that score once again.
16-8, 104, North Launceston lead, North Hobart 6-1, 37.
Cheers, Josh. And we'll hear from Josh at full time here on City Park Radio. Hillsy, have you been a bit disappointed with the effort the Blues have put in today in such a big game?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the results from last week, they'd be really disappointed with that loss at Lauderdale. I know they beat Lauderdale at Lauderdale earlier in the year, so to lose by 30 points, I guess to an informed Lauderdale, albeit, would have been really disappointing. They're trying to, I guess, mount a charge towards the standard of North Launceston, who seem to be going from strength to strength. So games like this against the third placed opposition are going to be really important, and you'd hope to probably see a little bit better performance today. But as we said earlier in the call, there's been quite a number of players down on what you'd expect their output to be, and we haven't had any spark from anyone out there today, so that's what's lacking at the moment. And
it is impressive for the Roos. You haven't seen them for quite a while. They're a bit of a different team to who you would have played against last year, but
yeah, the inclusion of Neild, I think that's and a couple of other those forward types have bobbed up throughout the game. But that Williamson down back, he's been effective. Holmes is one I didn't see much of last year, but obviously had a really good year and he's got on with it, so he's been good. And then their A-grade players in Cox, well, he was certainly a difference in that third term and put him ahead.
Yep, he's been certainly a fantastic player. Major goal kickers to this stage, Chris Neal with 3, Jake Cox with 3, and only single goal kickers to Launceston at the moment. They're missing, as you said at the outset there, Hillsy, they are missing Jay Blackberry and Sam Lonergan around those contests. They'll get Lonergan back, but of course Jay's out for the year.
Yep.
So that's where they're probably just lacking that bit of spark, the clean contests, the clean breakaways.
Yeah, I mean, the stoppages just look really stagnant and sort of a little bit... I mean, when you look at the midfield, it did look a bit one pace. So they're winning the hit-outs but losing the clearances. So there's obviously a disconnect there, and there's also a disconnect between the midfield when they do win it and the forward. So that's an issue to address going forward. The
stats back that up, Hillsy. It's 36 hit-outs to 20 over the day, but the clearances at the moment, Clarence winning 23 to 18. Inside 50s, Launceston actually winning those over the day, 31 to 28. Marks inside 50, 12 to Launceston, only 3 to Clarence. So Clarence have had a lot of those running goals, the snaps for goals, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Shots on goal pretty even, 17 to 15 Clarence's way, and the free kicks at 22-21. So I think those stats sort of bear that out, that Clarence are getting that first effective use of the ball.
Yeah, well, they are, and they just look a little bit more dangerous when they go forward and able to get the ball over the back.
We've got Warney down on the boundary. I reckon he's been at one of the huddles. Warney, what do you got for us?
Yeah, a little bit of a look at both of the huddles there. Started off with the Launceston guys, and I think it's all about seeing what they can win out of this quarter. Talking about definitely the clearances and those contested possessions, like they did in the first quarter. Want to basically try to win 2 quarters. That's their aim now. So 30 minutes to sort of prove that and see what they can get out of this game so far. I think the game really has not been played anywhere near on their terms at all. So that's something that they're trying to make happen and probably move the ball a little bit quicker than what they have done so far. And over with the Clarence guys, they were basically looking at all the numbers and all very happy with where things were for that. And they just want to basically slow the game down now. They just want to keep it in their control. So a little bit opposite, considering that that's what Clarence has been doing. That's where they set it up in the first half, where they were moving the ball quickly. Now it's all about time to just take their time with what they're doing and just making sure that it's setting up properly around their around the bouncers.
Geez, Warnie, looks like a pretty injury-free game so far.
Yeah, it's been very good. So both sides will be very happy with that. Not too much at all. Probably the only one that is of any concern. I saw there that Ben Killer had a bit of groin work done, but he's been out there, so not too much of an issue.
Cheers, Warnie. We'll catch you at full time. It's Adam Child there for City Park Radio, underway in the last quarter. Thanks to our sponsors, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows, and we're on the TSL live stream. Here's Anthony Osborn.
So Hamish Leadham winning the tap down immediately is... It's been so often the case, just a flock of bodies around the ball straight afterwards. The umpire's just letting this one go. Jeremy Webberley in there for the Roos. The umpire more than happy to let this one go, and it pays dividends for the Blues as Poultryman runs clear. He looks out wide. Jemison House there. Williamson, his direct opponent at the moment. Chiselling ball, but James Holmes takes it on the chest at half-back for Clarence. And I did just notice then that Fletcher Seymour giving plenty of attention to Joby Harper. Looks to be a move in this second half, and I think it has probably worked well for the Roos, quelling the influence of Harper. Clarence going down the line, but Aganis forms a contest.
Yep.
Magnificent tackle being laid there by the Roos. It's young Tom Birchall, and he's rewarded getting the free kick. So here on the wing, right in front of us at Windsor Park. Taken on the mark there by Ryan Tyrrell. Fantastic smother. But probably not his best work there, Tom Birchall. He'd like to have that one again. Jake Hines at half-back for Launceston. Unable to hit a target as Fletcher Seymour just hacks the ball inside 50, and all by himself. Inside 50 was the Clarence player in Chris Neal. He wheels around and finds another free player in Alex Silver, who thought about playing on, but he goes back and he'll have a shot. 45-degree angle. Now on the mark. Probably about 25 metres out from goal.
Talk to us, Hillsy. There was plenty of head shaking there.
Well, they've kicked 10 goals, Clarence, and I reckon they've kicked 7 out the back. I've never seen so many in a game. It's unbelievable, and I can't believe they haven't really done anything to address it to this point. So, interesting.
There was a line of uncontested players just licking their lips there in the red and white as Alex Silver approaches for his first real shot at the goals for the day. Misses to the far side. He kicked 5 last week against North Hobart, did Alex Silver. Part of this really dynamic Clarence forward group that just has seemingly endless rotations that can go through there.
Jake Hines shielding his eyes from the sun. They've gone the far side most kick-outs today, and they'll do it once again. Up to a contest. Almost a mark taken there. In fact, it's paid to Ryan Bailey. Chris Savage not very happy about it. Ryan Bailey just settling things down. He's 2 kicks out from goal. Too far out to score. So he's going to go to the pocket. Player on as a lead. Oh, big fly there from Dickinson. He got up high. Didn't take it. Over the top there from Hines to Riley. Brought the crowd to their feet as Riley goes up the wing looking for House. But over the back, Taylor Williamson once again takes the mark. Been impressive today. He's a strong unit, is Taylor Williamson. He marshals the troops, goes short and finds a player by himself. That's a Jared Harper. Harper now goes straight away, long, deep for goal. And Neal takes the mark. Chris Neal, standout forward today for Clarence. One out there with Van der Velde. He got body contact with Van der Velde, got the hands up and takes the mark. About 20 out from goal, slightly left of centre. This is for goal number 4.
And we had 1 in each quarter so far for Chris Neal as well. He's a really consistent performer. He's had a couple of other shots as well.
This might just kill the contest early in this last quarter. Chris Neal, he's done the job there for Clarence. He sneaks it in on the left-hand side. That's 4 now for Neal, 11 for Clarence, 11-8-74, 4-11-35. And they picked up a good one there, Chris Neal.
Yeah, well, he's always been, a talented player. It's pretty handy for Kingborough, so it is a pretty good when you can pick up a player of that calibre and bring him across to an already decent team. So I'll tell you one surprising me, Taylor Williamson. He's taken another marker. He'd have 8 or 10 marks for the day across half back, which is it's been like a wall or a rebound.
So Jack Rushton to Jeremy Webberley in the middle of the ground. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Errant bounce there from the umpire, and he'll take that one back. Must be remembered this Clarence side, Harry Richmond and Jackson O'Brien, late withdrawals today. Keegan Wiley, star from last season, he's out at the moment, as is Trent Standen, as is Ryan Edmondson. So plenty of reinforcement still to come towards the back end of the year. As Webberley feeds that one out to Chambers. His ball a real up and under. few men fly, but no one able to make any connection as Launceston hack the ball inside 50, and that man again, Taylor Williamson, takes the mark right in front of his eyes at half-back for the Roos as he goes to the outer side. Finds a teammate in Jared Harper. Been pretty impressive today,
Yep.
Jared Harper. He goes inboard to Ryan Bailey, the Player of the Year leader at this stage of the season. Not many people would have predicted that at the start of the year, it must be said. He goes to the outer side looking for a teammate, and it rolls out of bounds. We'll have a throw in just forward of the Clarence interchange bench, outer side at Windsor Park. 5 and a bit minutes gone in this final term. Clarence well and truly in control.
The sun-drenched Windsor Park. It's been a great result here so far for Clarence. I wouldn't think they'd lose it from here as Webley gets a kick out there towards Tim Castle back on the side today. He goes now towards Silva, who can't take the mark. He's on the ball though as Alex Silva. This way, that away. He'll turn, he'll shoot, he'll miss. Badly to the right-hand side, still in play. Chance now. Handball comes out. Dickinson. His kicks astray off hands. A boundary thrown right next to the behind post. As the scoreboard reads 11-8-74 Clarence, Launceston 4-11-35. Grab us some TSL scores there, Anthony. Get them at the next stoppage. Sorry, you put your phone away. Apologies for that. As out comes Chris Savage. He's tackled straight away. Oh, Joey boys, dangerous. Miller Hodge is there. Might have got a push in the back, Miller Hodge. Lucks a fortune. He'll get a free kick. Deep in defence. He goes the switch. Long out here towards Cox. Up against Hines. It's out of play. Talk to us, Anthony.
It's on the just checking the TSL app there, Dave, and over at Utah Stadium, North Launceston just putting their stamp on that match. 111 plays 37, while at KG5, Glenorchy have broken away again, 78-50. The Tigers certainly being competitive though down at the home of the Magpies.
As picking it up is Jared Harper. Nice release handball now to Cunliffe. Cunliffe goes for goal for Clarence, and that's another one. They're way on top here at Windsor Park. Troy Cunliffe, that's the 12th goal, 12-8-80. Launceston 4-11-35, and Hillsy, it's a bit of a procession in this last quarter now.
Well, you really wouldn't have picked this before we arrived today, but it's just gradually got bigger and bigger across the day, and they've sort of dominated from quarter time onwards, haven't they?
They certainly have, and inside 50s this quarter, 5-1, so they've just been dominant. And Troy Cunliffe, we talked about him earlier in the game, from Lindisfarne, SFL best and fairest, and handy pickup.
Once again, yeah. I mean, if you can get a best and fairest winner from the lower level, I mean, that's always going to be. He's going to be solid, and he's shown today that he's certainly more than capable at this level.
Back in the middle is Anthony.
So Paul Freeman with the clearance. He goes to half forward. He's going to have a look at potentially a second touch here, but they go out wide to Jacob Boyd. I've been impressed by his game. First time I've seen him so far this season. He's at half forward for Launceston. Just chips that one inside 50. And finds Jamison House. He's again been thereabouts today, Jamison House. Of course, in the Tassie Mariners program. Hear
some advice there.
Local folks giving him plenty of advice. Now, it looks like that was
not 15.
So Mitch thought he'd taken the mark. We've seen him in that spot earlier in the day, but not 15, and immediately wrapped up by Jason Bailey and Taylor Williamson. And if those two men are wrapping you up, you're probably not going to be able to get free. So we'll have a ball up just inside the forward 50 here for Launceston. Ryan Bailey decisively wins that one down, bowled by Paul Freeman. Cuts it back inside 50, but Bailey takes the mark. Tumbling ball along the 50-metre arc here. Jack Rushton, ball just a little too hot for him. He's unable to control it. Clarence just trying to hold up. There's plenty of bodies approach, and we'll have a ball up just inside the forward 50 for Launceston.
Interesting, Anthony. Mitch Thorpe goalless today. That'll be the first time this year if it finishes that way. You'd be disappointed with that, Hillsy.
Yeah,
you know him pretty well.
I reckon he'd be pretty dirty, mate, to be honest. He wouldn't be a happy man at the moment.
We've got a shot on goal here. Free kick. I didn't see that one.
No, free kick has been paid.
Thanks, Grooves. Pushing the back. Kept his eye on it there. So Jacob Boyd in the blue boots. Approaches the man on the mark. He's going to deliver from about 48. They trail by 45 points in the last quarter. Jacob Boyd is going to fall short. Players rise high. Falls here towards Whiting. He tracks it to the boundary line. It's out of bounds. And I don't think I'd ever say this, but it's quite warm here on the balcony at Windsor Park.
Absolutely beautiful, Dave. Unbelievable. This time
sun-drenched. We've had some pretty cold days here, haven't we, Groups, in the past? He's nodding. There's the boundary throw in. It's one that goes over the back of all the contesting players. Rushton attacks the ball hard. There he is again, Jack Rushton. Third time, spins out, handballs out. Great individual effort, and he gets penalised. Might have been incorrect disposal there in the end. But he made the play there, Jack Rushton. Alex Gore with a free kick in the back line for Clarence.
Young Alex Gall goes to the outer side, looking for Dickinson, who's pushed right up the ground. Ball rolls out of bounds directly in front of the Launceston Mercury Cup side, or watching this game together. They wouldn't be delighted with what they've seen so far, it must be said. Lonnie 4-11-35 to Clarence 12-8-80 in this one. 10.5 gone in the final term. Boundary throw in. Leadham wins that one down. Wrapping up there, Gabby Chambers, and will have a ball up directly where that boundary throw in was contested. Leadham wins that one down. Well roved there by Savage. He goes out the back to Tyrrell. High up and under inside 50 there from Ryan Tyrrell. Getting across. Fantastic mark from Jacob Boyd. He's been really impressive today, Boyd. Backed himself. He's not going to back himself for goal, though. He goes to the outer side looking for Hines. He tries the almost repeat mark, but unable to complete it. And the Roos bounce out of defensive 50.
Neild looks here for Brenner. Can't take the mark. Shepherd might have got a push in the back. Play on. Ball up. Centre wing. As the shadows lengthen here. 11.5 minute mark. And Clarence heading towards a comfortable victory. Second versus third, so they'll leapfrog at the Blues today. Taken there by Ryan Bailey over the top to Chambers. He has a player further afield in Neild, who's kicked 4 inside 50 towards Cox and Brown. And well done there to Casey Brown. Wins that contest. Goes the switch. He's got a player who's got a hectare of space over there. Although it's closed down now by Dickinson. That's Riley. Riley goes up the wing. Nice knock away there from Gall towards Jacob Boyd. He can't pick it up this time. Joby Harper picks it up, shrugs a tackle. Kicks nicely towards Killerley, although it clears his head. Taken by Jason Bailey to Williamson, back to Bailey, who goes towards the wing close to the boundary line. Finds the target though in the coach in Webberley. Webberley inside 50 for Jake Cox, who marks in scoring range. About 40 out. Tough angle, but a good one for the left footer. He's kicked how many today, Anthony? He's kicked 3 today, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. So we've already got Chris Neild on 4, and Jake Cox with an opportunity to join him with 4 goals as well today.
This could seal the 3 votes, Fozzie.
You think so?
Not to give anything away too much.
Don't preempt it. It was his long way to go. Jake Cox skips sideways, inside 50 now, and he's going to miss near side.
Gone.
He's missed a few today. Clarence 12-9-81, Launceston 4-11-35. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5, and watching the TSL live stream. As here's Anthony Osborn as Jake Hines kicks out long.
Yes, a long kick there from Jake Hines, looking for Hamish Leadham. Pack forms with Joby Harper as well. Gannis gets the hands out. He's worked right up the ground. Launceston cutting across the field. Dylan Riley wheels and goes. Good ball there to the 50-metre line. James Gillow, he goes further afield to Sonny Whiting, but a comfortable mark taken there by Ryan Cowie. And another forward 50 entry there from Launceston, unable to hit the target. This Clarence defence has held up really well today. Perhaps not the most high profile of defensive groups, but they've been absolutely fantastic today, led by Taylor Williamson.
Interesting to see what you guys think about the ruck battle. Obviously, Hamish Leadham's probably the one you would tip to have a bigger impact in there, and he's certainly probably one of the hit-outs, but Bailey seems to have more impact after the initial hit-out and follow-up work.
He's very mobile, isn't he? Is the boundary throw-in, Leadham. Does another tap. Kick semi-smothered by Rundle. Ricochets inside the centre square again. A few Clarence players here. If they can get possession, they do. Handball over the top. Fletcher Seymour. Inside 50, chance. Mark's taken by Jake Cox again. And he's on the opposite side of the ground this time. He's 45 out, 45-degree angle. We're right behind this one. In the dying rays of the sun here at Windsor Park. Seagulls are gathering. Jake Cox, he's missed a few today. He could have kicked 6 or 7, really.
I reckon he wants those votes, he?
He does indeed.
He heard me.
He can make amends here. Jake Cox There he skips sideways again. Gets some rhythm. And he's missed to the right. He's hit the post. It came back at the last moment like an outswinger. So another behind there to Clarence, 12-10-82. Launceston 4-11-35. We are 15 minutes into the last quarter.
And just gets himself in really good positions, does Jake Cox. He reads the play so well. Unable to convert there, but he's really putting on a fantastic display. There's his Clarence Ruse. Launceston driving the ball out of defence. Pack forms. Joby Harper's there for Launceston. James Holmes at the bottom of the pack for Clarence. Joby Harper just like a bullocking bull there trying to work his way out of the pack, but we will have the ball up, and it's great to see Joby Harper out there. She wouldn't be happy with the result today, but particularly early, he was quite impressive for the Blues.
It's good to see him out there and fit, isn't it? He's definitely one of the better players in the competition, and he's proven that over a number of years, so good to see him building into a little bit of form.
So we've got a free kick here at half-back. Jamison House to take it for the Blues. He looks to go inboard, but it's just a flock of Clarence players here as Tim Castle mops up. Looks to be playing back half in this second half. Goes inside. Sunshine just playing some havoc in the eyes of a couple of players there, I believe. Clarence have the ball at half-forward. Perhaps taken high there was Webley. The umpire said it pushed in the back, and it will be a free kick going the way of Clarence. It's Jared Harper, who will take the free kick. So impressive today, Jared Harper.
Good.
Spoke about Joby, but Jared's been really good for Clarence. He's probably one of the unsung heroes of this side. He's been around for a few years now and just has the ability to hit the scoreboard and set up his teammates. He's going to have to kick from just outside 50 here. He's backing himself. Untidy little mongrel kick inside. Finds Jake Cox. Absolutely a havoc ball in there, but the Blues able to take it out, and it will roll out of bounds 60 metres out from Clarence goal. Broadcast side here at Windsor Park.
Okay, the Launceston look like going down for a second week in a row. Just a bit of a mid-season slump is the word I'm looking for. Thank you. There's the boundary umpire. Lovely throw in indeed. House front position. Bailey at the back. Harper at the back, and that's out here now towards Kieran Howlett. Release the handball looking for Cunliffe. Nice pick up, Palfreyman. Chain of handballs here to Shepherd, who doesn't release. He goes sideways to nobody in particular. Nest of Clarence Kangaroos there. As Holmes awkwardly kicks forward. Finds his teammate. There, and that's number 20 there in Birchall. Kick forward now for Launceston. Clean bowl, Sonny Whiting. Well done there by Cowie. Kicks up the wing. Handball there from Howlett to Weberley. Inside 50, one out. Mark taken by Chris Neild. He'll be penalised. He shoved his opponent out. Anthony thinks it was not there. What do you think, Ilsey?
No, probably not. Good body work.
Yep. As the short kick comes into Joby Harper, who marks at half-back. And he has a full start with a kick. Second time lucky. Up here towards Jimmy Aganis, who takes a nice mark over the back. A rare highlight in this last quarter for the Blues. He's going to centre the ball. He's got Palfreyman. Wow. Now he can go. Can Brody Palfreyman use his pace? Inside 50, Jake Smith there. So Sonny Whiting. Oh, Jake Smith got a hand on it. Deflected it to Cowie. As Sonny Whiting was dead set going to mark that. But they got another chance here as Jacob Boyd takes it. As Jacob Boyd's dad says has a shot here behind us. He goes short to Tyrrell. Congested, 50 ahead. Leans back on the kick, chips it here towards Killerley in a contest. He's outsized by Bailey. Taking here, chance for Jake Smith. Round the corner, Jake Smith for his second. Makes no mistake. And that's a goal to the Blues in this last quarter. That's their first for the last stanza of play. 5-11 at 41. Clarence 12-10, 82. 41 points of difference. And Jake Smith hasn't been the worst today, Hilsey.
Yeah, no, he's one that you probably look. He's a good user of the footy. He runs really well, athletic, and he's been sort of thereabouts for a number of years, and he really needs a breakout year. But there's a bit of a star-studded lineup, but that's underperforming currently. So he's one that has put his hand up today and been pretty solid all round.
Like Sonny was a bit dirty within there before.
Definitely dirty.
It's going to be lace out for Sonny.
He would have told him as well, I reckon.
Back in the middle, Anthony Osborn for City Park Radio and also the TSL live stream.
So that one down by Launceston. We'll have a replay with another ball up in the centre of the ground. A bit of an unorthodox centre bounce contest there. Jared Harper duelling with House. House roves his own work the second time around. Gillow finds Palfreyman. Polfreeman finding a bit of space in this final term. He runs out wide. That ball just going to roll out of bounds. He was looking for his teammate in Ben Killalea, but we'll have a ball in just at half forward here for Launceston. The Blues, they fought really hard in the second half against Lauderdale last week. They're showing a little bit in this final term, but the damage has already been done here with Clarence set to record a really important win. That one goes out the back. Ryan Tyrrell just hacks it inside 50. Holmes is there for Clarence. Jake Smith's going to have another shot on goal. Looking for Whiting. And Brian Cowie's done a good job today, I think. He's driven that ball out of defence, but only to Dylan Riley. He works with Polfreeman. Polfreeman just barrels the ball in, but the umpire says that it had already gone out of bounds. So we'll have a throw in, half forward for Launceston. 20 minutes gone in this final term. 41 points the difference in favour of the visitors.
Yep, we've got about 7 or 8 minutes left of the action. It's been a little bit of a disappointing game as far as the contest is concerned. We've seen some good individual highlights, but Clarence have really come to play and are going to take home the 4 points. We'll hear from Jeremy Webberley after the final siren. He's involved with the play there as he gets it out to Jones. Out there now towards Birchall, and looks like it's a free kick against young Birchall. Correct disposal. We'll come back to Ryan Tyrrell. Interesting, in the games that Launceston have lost this year, they have come home hard in the last 10 minutes or so. They did finish off games, but it's all too late. Tyrrell up towards Whiting. Can't take the mark. Gillow. Handball smothered. Back to Whiting. Out of play. About 25 metres around from the Blues goal.
Another one they've missed today, my boy, Jared Dakin, another Mariners boy. He's part of the under-17 team travelling away tomorrow for their national champ game. So he was named best on ground last week for them. So he's got some good class, good foot skills as well. So they've certainly missed him today.
Also, Giacomo Malucci's one that he always seems to play well. And I've seen him this year, but he was in the twos today. Kicked a few.
Yeah, he's certainly a goal kicker. He bobs in and out of into the senior team though. So there must be some aspects of the game they want him to work on.
Yep. Mitchy Thorpe here, knocked away by Bailey. Back to Thorpe. To Bailey. Picked up by Riley. He works clear. Gets a kick. Yeah, and Jake Smith takes a good mark. Now, he might fancy himself from this distance. Looks like he's going to set himself for a shot. No, he goes sideways. It looks like it's Chris Savage over there. He might have a rare shot on goal. The veteran. And a number of Savage brothers that have paid for the Blues. Wanted to play on. Now he sets himself for a shot. He's right on the edge of his distance, I'd imagine. Helicopter kick through the air. Falls to the front. Whiting there again is tackled over the line. Boundary throw in. 12-10-82, 5-11-41. 22 and a half minutes gone. Attacking position for the Blues. A lot of players inside the attacking 50. Thorpe against Ryan Bailey. Chance here. Snap by Boyd. Falls to Riley. Kicks the goal for the Blues. Dylan Riley up the ground. Kicks their sixth goal. 6-11-47. Clarence 12-10-82. And we don't still do Riley up attack much these days, Hilsey, but he did well there.
No, he made his mark as sort of playing loose across half back for Devonport for a number of years, and he sort of won us the grand final at South Launceston doing that role. So he's more suited to playing behind the ball, but certainly can go forward and take a mark, kick a goal. So it's good. And
inside 50s, 14 apiece in this last quarter, and it's 2 goals apiece. So pretty even. As Nick Butler's got it in the middle of the ground, here's Anthony.
It's Jack Rushton, part of the midfield group for Launceston in this final term. That one not really won down by any ruckman, but Brady Jones does the roving. He kicks out to the outer side. Ashton Dickinson playing further up the ground this quarter. He goes down the line looking for a target in Brenner. That ball just spills out the back at half forward here for Clarence. So able to string of handballs there. Gabby Chambers inside 50 and a fantastic mark taken. Really strong stuff. I think that might be... Is it Chris Neild again?
It is.
Chris Neild, a goal in every quarter today. Kicked 4 against North Hobart last week. He's been really impressive. He has the type of build that can probably roll through the middle at times as well. Did that a bit at the Tigers, but fantastic acquisition for Jeremy Webberley and the Roos as he wheels around and slams home his 5th. Clarence, it's all the Roos today at Windsor Park. They kick another and now lead 13-10, 88 to 6-11, 47.
5 goals to nil, Hilsey. That's a bag.
Impressive performance, yeah. He probably could have had a couple more. And like you say, he looks like a type of nice left foot, good sized body that could get up into the midfield and play a role for them as well. So, yeah, very handy pickup for them this year.
Question without notice, Hilsey. The Clarence forward line that they have, do you think having so many mobile players that can roll through there has just unsettled the Launceston defence a bit today? They've also got a few really solid key position players.
It certainly feels like it, doesn't it? I mean, they haven't really had a specific way of going forward with the ball, and those mobile types have really played havoc with the opposition, and they haven't been able to set up, I guess.
Seymour gets it inside 50 again and follows up his work, takes the ball now. Fletcher Seymour back in his hometown this afternoon. Played a bit of footy with Old Scotch in the NTFA before moving south for cricket. Now making his mark at TSL level. So it's 13-10-88, 6-11-47. Warning will be down in the rooms post-game with Jeremy Webberley. So stay tuned for that. As Jared Harper's there. Free kick as he goes in and bowls over Ben Killerley. Ball will have to come back. 25 and a half, nearly 26 minutes gone. Sirens pretty imminent. Mark taken by Jamison House. House goes sideways and Paul Freeman takes the mark. He plays on, gets round. Kicks to half forward to Jake Smith. Takes the mark, been lively today. Goes short, back to Jamison House. He'll play on the big fella. He'll launch at goal. He goes to the front of the square to Whiting. Also there, looks like that's Hines. Gets the handball away. Killerley tries to break a tackle. He may be penalised. He will. Try to do a bit too much there, Ben Killerley.
Trying to play rugby there, Killer, I think. I'm not sure.
Just wanted to give it a space. He wanted to snap for a goal, but he couldn't make it through. Good defence there. As it's short kick to Matthew Ling. Take us out for the game there, Anthony.
So Matthew Ling, back pocket here for the Roos. A lot of tired bodies out there at the moment. He's going to go down the line. Tim Castle flies, but the umpire's blown his whistle. Free kick going the way of Clarence. Free kick going to James Brenner. Done some good things today, Brenner. Goal in the second term. He just buys a bit of time, then goes out wide to Karen Howlett. Handy player Howlett. He's got an option back and Matty Ling if he wants. As the siren sounds at Windsor Park. Clarence 13-10-88 to Launceston 6-11-47. And the Roos have made a big statement and are now second on the TSL ladder.
Yes, great effort by the Roos. They pretty much had control of the game since quarter time. They led by 3 points at quarter time. They led by 28 points at the half, by 32 at three-quarter time, and end up running out winners by 41 points. 13-10-88, Launceston 6-11-47. And a couple of big goal kickers there, especially for Clarence.
Yeah, so for Clarence, 5 goals to Chris Neild, 3 to Jake Cox, and then singles to James Holmes, Ashton Dickinson, James Brenner, and Fletcher Seymour. Jake Smith, probably a shining light for the Blues today. He kicked 2. Singles to Sonny Whiting, Dylan Riley, Miller Hodge, and also James Gillow.
We'll take a quick break here from Windsor Park. We're back in a moment for Hillsy's wrap-up. And so our stream viewers stay with us for a little bit longer. And we'll hear from Mitch Hills. For our radio listeners, we'll also hear from Jeremy Webberley in the rooms very soon. Yes, while we're just taking a break then, our stream viewers would have seen a great moment there with Sonny Whiting cheered off the ground, and his 150th game, and a great touch through there by the Clarence Footy Club. They went over and recognised that milestone as well, and you can see on your screen, those watching the stream, very happy Clarence bunch. Good game today, no major injuries, played in a very good spirit. So congratulations to both teams. Hilsey, your thoughts before we farewell our stream listeners, our stream viewers, sorry.
Yeah, well, I was really impressed by Clarence, mate. I probably expected them to be solid. From what I've sort of seen and heard of them throughout the year, they looked like they were going to be solid, but I thought Launceston maybe had too much talent and some better A-grade players, but I was certainly very surprised, and they played a good brand of football. They certainly looked like they played with more intent across the 4 quarters, and it actually dominated the contest from the quarter time onwards. And from the Launceston point of view, pretty disappointing overall. They lacked spark, they lacked any sort of general direction about how they wanted to go about it, and they've certainly got a few issues moving forward to try and break this form slump, Fozzie.
Absolutely. And Clarence, impressed?
Yeah, look, they were terrific. I mean, some of their lesser likes that I don't know much about let's go through them. Cunliffe, Neil's bobbed up, Dickinson, Gall,
Williamson,
Fletcher Seymour,
yep.
Taylor Williamson.
Yep.
Guys, I've never seen or heard of these guys, and it's probably to my own detriment. But they were terrific today, and they certainly had a full team performance. But some guys I haven't heard too much about really stepped up and played a good game of footy.
Thanks, Hilsey. Well, it's time to farewell our stream viewers. Anthony, the stream next week, can you remember off the top of your head?
I believe it's Clarence North Launceston next week, and
Okay.
after what we've seen from Clarence today, that promises to be an absolute beauty.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and thanks to Simon, our streamer here. He's done a fantastic job. Great camera work as usual. It's been great to work with him once again. So we farewell our TSL stream viewers now, and we'll continue for our radio listeners. Okay, we're here with City Park Radio, and I think I might have just missed a call there from